I think if I've done this right, you're all hearing me once again. I am Dustin from Tabletop to Keyboard, and with me this week, got a full boat of players. We have, starting over here to my left, it's Chuck from Defenders of Cobalt. Chuck, tell them who you are, where they can find you.
Okay, I'm Chuck from the Defenders of Cobalt. That's an actual play Twitch stream. We run stuff like DCC, MCC, Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea, Zweihander, what else? I had some Metamorphosis Alpha in there. We're going to do Free League stuff. I don't know. We run all sorts of crap. Just come watch us. And tonight I'm playing Ivan, the smuggler. And yeah, he totally didn't rob those people we were working for last time. It's fine. Everything's great. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that's me.
Position below him from Tabletop to Keyboard here, we have Jeff as Wolfram. Jeff, tell a little bit about what's going on, who you are.
Well, hey everyone, I'm Jeff. As he said, I'm from Tabletop to Keyboard like Dustin, and we do a lot of stuff here. So Monday nights we have a talk show called The Wisdom Check. Bring on guests oftentimes, but more often than not, we talk about topics in the gaming world and go back and forth. That's pretty fun. Tuesdays we have a music show called Bardic Knowledge, where one of our cast members, Cam, makes music for gaming. Goes through all the composition, everything like that. It's pretty cool. Wednesday night is Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign that I'm running. So it's a homebrew game that you get to go check out. This week I'm doing DM prep on Wednesday instead of the usual game, so come check that out. Thursday nights we do video games around here, usually 7 Days to Die lately. And then we also have a 5th Edition Dungeons & Dragons game that runs on Saturday nights. And we have this game here, the Zweihander campaign, that Dustin's running for us. So that's on Sundays. So, ding! Right. And also, I didn't rob anybody. I just got some money that fell off the wagon.
Next to Jeff down there, we have Lindy, who's back as Ravit this week. Lindy,
hi.
With the cat.
Yes, Tesla says hello. I will be playing Ravit Baudelaire. She is a convict and with attitude and a lot of injuries at this point. Maybe not a lot. It feels like a lot. It's a really bad, twisted, infected ankle. And she doesn't care if she stole money or not, because she knows she's probably going to get away with it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get away with it. That's what's going to happen.
I mean, I already spent most of it, so how can I not?
Mm-hmm.
You can't prove it. I've had this armor.
No evidence.
And moving along the bottom of our overlay, Alex is back this week as Asher. Alex, tell them who you are, where they can find you, and a little about Asher.
Sure. Hi, I'm Alex. I am the author of The Magician's Sin and the Titan City Chronicles, as well as one of the GMs over at the Untold Stories Project, where we run Mutants and Masterminds, Werewolf the Apocalypse, all kinds of stuff. And this week we're going to be super busy with a whole bunch of special extra streams, including one for Gen Con on Saturday. So be sure to head over to that and check us out. I'll be playing Asher Williamson, who is the big, lovable muscle and the competent member of the team.
You got us there.
And,
no arguments.
At least when it comes to combat, because he's the only one who wrote a warrior class, so, that's what you get. A warrior can warrior, who imagine?
You guys are better at talking, so I'll let you do that.
And last but not least, rounding out the group, we have Hope back as Greta Drumstock. Tell everyone who you are and a little bit about Greta.
Hey guys, I'm Hope Lavelle. You can find me on Wednesdays from 2 to 4 on D&D Beyond's Fire and Forged, a new show that's just started, a little mini-series. And you can also find me on Attackers of Opportunity, another D&D podcast, wherever podcasts are found. And I will be playing Greta Drumstock, a ogre fence who definitely did her job, and that's all that matters. So whether we stole or not, her job is done.
Everyone has gotten paid, that's for sure.
Except for the people who sold the merchandise.
So what we're going to do is
that's their problem. That's not our problem.
Yeah. So it is, it's the beginning of a session as Zweihander. And in the time-honored tradition as Zweihander, the first thing we do every session as Zweihander is...
Roll initiative.
We roll initiative.
You drink heavily.
Whether we're going to use it or not. So,
Pet our cat.
So find your initiative on your talents and trappings page, roll a d10, add it to it, and we'll get you can update yourself on the turn order.
Bam. Am I rolling good tonight? I am rolling good tonight.
I'm rolling. Okay.
It's to make up for last night's debacle.
Good lord. I literally could not roll to save my life.
Hashtag no spoilers, Jeff. Alright, so are you guys able to update yourself in the turn order? Do you need me to do it?
Yeah, it didn't let me.
Okay, I'll do it.
Because it's not hooked to our tokens, so we can't update it ourselves.
Yeah.
Good call.
That's how we roll.
In my case, it was poorly.
Let's see what you end up with this time. Wow,
11.
that is terrible
Yeah.
for you.
I did not do good.
Your worst possible is almost as good as my best. It's amazing.
Okay.
Alright, that's our initiative roster today, should we get to something that requires it.
Yeah.
And with that out of the way... Whoops. Once I move my Twitch chat down here where I can see it, we are ready to go ahead and begin. So, at the end of last session, you all had arranged a meeting between Alexi Arkwright and Hal Davinson in an attempt to move some goods that you had stolen from some carts that you intercepted that were on their way to the Huttenberg Academy of Natural Philosophy, courtesy of one Maester Bravo Von Helfrich. In the midst of the exchange, gold was given to Greta, who was fencing the goods on behalf of Halford. And in the midst of this exchange, once the gold had been passed to the fence and the goods were being transferred over to Alexi's wagon, guards bearing the signia of the Maester showed up and very quickly turned into a foot chase through the rundown back alleys of Huttenberg, upon which a couple, I believe it was Ravit and Greta, were unable to escape the guards and ended up in a small confrontation. The other members of the group circled back around in time for Ravit to suffer a very badly sprained ankle. Many in the group are already feeling the effects of some peril. They're also feeling the effects of some wounds from the previous engagement out on the road. Everyone's beaten, bruised, but you walked away with a bag full of coin. Lots of coin. So, because, of course, most of you are brand new players to Zweihander, I do want to talk a little bit about what happens when you get a night's rest. So this will be a good time just to cover that mechanic, because you guys are done. You're going to find yourself a nice hotel room, somewhere to kind of bed down for the night. And there are basically two ways that you get a night's rest. You either get a night's rest somewhere where you're safe, or you get a night's rest somewhere where you're not safe. And that's kind of up to me as the GM to decide. And in Huttenberg, there's plenty of places you'll be able to get a room where no one's going to find you necessarily, and you'll feel safe enough that you will completely restore your peril back to unhindered. If you're somewhere that it's not safe, and you're having to try to bed down for the night, it would be up to your survivalist, if you're on the road, to make a roll to determine if you get unhindered or if you start out at imperiled, one step down. So because you guys are in a city, and because everything is going, you got places you can hide out, bars you can go to blow off stress, which you guys did a little at the end of last session. If you have any peril left, it's going to go away. You're going to start out fresh for a new day. If you do not have any injuries and you get a good night's rest, once you start a new day, you have the ability then to reattempt any bandages or anything you would need to heal up health levels. Unfortunately, in Zweihander, one of their big slogans is naps do not heal stab wounds. You do not heal from going to bed. You don't wake up feeling better in the morning. If you're injured or hurt, you're injured or hurt until you receive medical care that will help you get to feeling better. So, but you do sometimes, many of the checks, like heal checks and stuff, are only once per day. So when you do wake up in the morning, if you need to rebandage anything, you can make another attempt if you failed the previous day. Ravit was unfortunately taken to a barber surgeon who attempted a little bit of surgery to repair her sprained ankle, and when she wakes up in the morning, it's not looking so hot. So you have an infection setting in on your ankle.
Is it clean?
And you don't have to have any dots in heal this is just the basic knowledge for people living in a gritty Zweihander world that requires a physician of some sorts to apply leeches to suck out the infection. That is the recommended cure for infection in this world. And the barber surgeon, Mason Mars, who you spoke to the day before, who tried to heal up your ankle for you, told you that if you needed that sort of care, you have to go find Winston Dappermore, the physiker.
Mm-hmm.
And that he would have what was needed, because the barber surgeon does not keep leeches. So that was kind of where you were left, to go ahead and get your room for the night. You also had to do a little bit of shopping. Most of you picked up at least a set of quilted armor. If you have not purchased anything, you still have your gold, you can do so now. The important thing about picking up armor is it will prevent you from bleeding out should you acquire an injury. That is the biggest benefit to any armor. You do get a small bump to damage threshold modifier, not enough to usually save your life, but it's there. And, well, I guess, also, when you put on the armor, you lose the natural and dangerous qualities. And that natural is giving you a plus 10 to your dodge, so you have to make sure you take that 10 off your dodge. And I added that 10 artificially to all of your dodge scores if you did not have armor. So Asher's the only one who wasn't receiving that because he had armor from the get-go. But if you do, the rest of you do buy armor, make sure you take that 10 back off of there. So I think at this point then we're ready to go ahead and resume with the next morning. Those of you who have purchased anything, have major purchases, we covered some of that in downtime. You're all waking up feeling a bit more refreshed in your hotel room. Probably multiple rooms with the number of you, but a couple of rooms worth of hotel. You wake up in the morning and have to decide what you want to do about Ravit's terrible looking ankle.
Yeah, I definitely can't do anything for that.
It is very green and swollen. I don't think it is supposed to look like that. I probably need some leeches. Pull out the bad blood.
Yes, this is most correct. Who did the doctor say we needed to go see?
My notebook is out of my reach and my cat is on my lap. I'm not sure.
It is. Anyway, whoever that is, maybe we should do this. Yes.
Yes.
To the physicalities then.
Now, before we go, I did pick up some medical supplies. I cannot do anything about your large ankle at this point, but the rest of us who have injured, I can try and help.
What
I
did
will
you
take
have?
assistance, Tavarish, if you
ankle?
can provide it.
Yes, I would also like that.
Okay, I have 5 bandages, and there's 4 of us that need a little help.
What if you have an infection and you're moderately wounded?
I think you have to heal the
infection
infection
first? Cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. We're going with the physiker.
Yeah.
There will be no rest, ice, compression, nothing around
No.
here.
Nah.
Do you have any antibiotics? No, they haven't been invented yet? Okay, never mind.
No.
Yeah, things like that haven't been invented yet, unfortunately.
Just
So-
rub some mold on it, it'll be fine.
So I'm going to, as practice, try and heal myself first. I'm moderately wounded, so it'll be a routine heal test for me.
That's correct.
Routine. And heal. Let's see. Please don't do bad.
I'm going to move everyone over
Okay,
here
cool.
to the damage peril track explanation page.
So I get to move up to lightly. Very cool. Who's next?
I'll go on next.
What's your current stat?
I am lightly wounded.
Oh, that's not on the list. What is fixing somewhat from lightly wounded? That's not on the list of.
It's a auto success. If
Oh,
you have
okay, cool.
if you have the materials, I just moved you guys, I think, over to. Are you guys seeing the wounds tracker?
Okay, it's there. I've got the compendium stuff all over them. That's why I didn't see it. Okay, so yeah, I expend a bandage and then I heal Asher.
You're a good man, Ivan. I appreciate you.
So
All
he
right.
gets you all. He gets you all bandaged up. You're feeling a little bit better.
Greta, where are you at?
Shoot, I just closed.
Did
my
you say you
sheet.
were moderate?
No, I'm worse than that.
Ooh, ouch.
God.
Yeah, several of you had got jacked up pretty good by the guards. Like,
Yeah, I am seriously wounded.
Okay. I'll give it a shot. That's a standard for me. Okay, cool. You go up to moderate.
Moderate. Thank you.
And actually, let me to get you up to light. We'll need to.
You're gonna take laudanum after that.
Yeah, I know.
Bandages
That's
will
what I
get
was.
you one. Anything after that, you have to start
Yeah.
taking the laudanum
Yeah,
to get.
no, that's exactly. I'm going to pull a laudanum out of my pack and have you drink that as well, and that will get you up to lightly wounded.
Okay.
Now,
Thank you.
a laudanum is the only healing potion in Zweihander, and it's made from opiates. So you get to heal one, and you get the buzz of being on opiates, and you get the corruption of your soul that comes with taking the opiates. So you take one corruption just for drinking it, but it will heal you one more additional health level.
Okay.
And Wolfram?
Oh, I'm absolutely fine. Just a bit of an insult to my pride, but other than that, quite good.
Very cool then.
I like that Ivan's basically one of those old-timey doctors who's like, there's demons in your blood, do cocaine about it.
Just like real life.
Okay. So you spend a little time up there in the rooms. You try to wrap up what wounds and what best you can, and try to do your guys' best with what tattered rags and clothing you may be wearing to cover up all those bandages, so that when you're walking through town, you don't look like a walking medicine cabinet. But you're doing your best to look normal, as unfortunately Ravit's going to be limping quite a bit on her way to head back down, not to the rundown part of town where you got chased by the guards, but back more where you went to the hobbled horsey. It was down the street a ways from it, a little closer to the factories, was where Mason Mars had pointed you in the direction of if you needed to find Winston Dappermore, the local physiker.
Ravit,
on
if
my-
you prefer, you could ride my horse. Loshad would be happy to carry you along the way.
That might be good. I should probably not walk on it until the blood is let. Thank you very much. Awkwardly climbs on. Actually, I think she'd actually be pretty decent with a horse based on her background.
If you need help, I could potato sack you out there.
She's got that militaristic upbringing, so I think she.
Well, I thought maybe you're a horse bandit.
You lose hands for horse thieving. No, she doesn't steal horses. She just
Asher
knows
lost
how
a
to
hand
ride.
riding a horse.
Not for stealing horse, though. I would never steal a horse.
No, the horse bit it right off.
So you guys make your way down, and you eventually come to the sign again. Most people in Zweihander world are functionally illiterate, so signs aren't written out; they're just pictures. And you see the striped pole similar to the barber surgeon, but you see the image of a black like handbag
Oh,
up on
Interesting.
the thing that is very, very iconic, I guess, for physicers, actual doctors. This is, you're dealing with like who's considered to be like the medical professional of the community at this point. So there's obviously a kind of an open door welcome, policy when it comes to people who much like the barber, you can just walk right on in, and no appointments are necessary for doctors in this sort of world. So you're able to just walk right in, and there's a small little bell there you can chime, and there's a nice little waiting area with some nice seats.
I think I'm wearing my garish attire because it's that or the rags, and I'm pretty sure we've used a bunch of the rags.
We've been tearing the rags up for chaos
tearing 'em up.
bandages for a couple of days now. So you make your way in. You ring the little bell, and you see this slender man with gray hair comes walking out, and upon the first notice, you notice that his facial features look a little more. He looks rather frazzled a little, perhaps, but he has like weathered lines around his eyes and his nose. Some of it from age, but some of it from a life that clearly looks as somebody who has not worked as much indoors as you would imagine. Like perhaps he spent a fair amount of his life before becoming a physiker working somewhere outdoors. And the faces, the lines on his face sort of show you that he has this sort of a warm, caring demeanor to him, but also that he's his skin just looks more leathery than you would expect for somebody who works with their brain in their hands. He comes in. Oh, yes, welcome everybody. My name is Winston Dappermore. I see your leg. Oh, my
Yes,
dear, what have you done to it? And
I sprained my ankle yesterday. It was very bad sprain.
and you've but it looks like it's more than sprained.
Well, it's infected now. First it was bleeding all over the place, which I thought was unusual for a sprain, but then it stopped bleeding, and then tried to fix it, and then it got infected, and now I'm here.
All right, let's unwrap it and take a look at it. He puts
It's
you up
very
there on the
clean.
table, and he starts to unwrap a little bit, and he takes a look. He kind of eyes it, and he gets out a pair of like reading glasses, sort of, and puts them on, and he's looking it over, and he pokes it a little with a careful touch. He's like, "Does this hurt?"
Yes. Ow.
Okay. And he kind of squeezes a little bit around the infection site, and some kind of greenish pus kind of comes puffing out of it a little bit. He's like, "Oh yes, a very, very aggressive infection you have." He goes, "Yeah, you've come to the right place. This looks like the handiwork of the Mars boy down the street.
How did you know?
He's a very good barber surgeon. He is. But my family and his family go way back, and much of his training he had under me. But so he makes his cuts and his incisions the same way that I would. He's just doesn't have the experience I have. Hold right here. I'll be back with exactly what you need in just a second." And he walks over towards a door that looks like it goes back to maybe like an office area or supply area. And he kind of cracks the door open a bit as he goes back in there. And during this point, anyone who's paying attention will get a chance to make a challenging scrutinize test.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm looking.
Challenging, scrutinize. Yeah, I know how to do that.
Ooh,
Nope.
Jeff does not notice. Oh, a critical success. Oh, a critical fail. Guys are all over the place.
Man.
Regular success.
Wowzer.
All right. Is that everyone?
You said it was challenging?
Yeah, challenging scrutinize.
I don't know. I don't think Greta might not be paying attention.
Okay. If Greta's not paying attention, it's fine. It's only if you want to make it. This is an optional roll.
Yep.
So, Greta, you must be distracted by Ivan, or maybe you're distracting Ivan. And like a lot of doctors' offices, even in a Zweihander world, there's like newspaper articles and stuff, because he's a reader, even if everyone else isn't. So he's got like, there's paintings on the walls, and there's stuff for you to kind of look at, and kind of, he's got old tools and stuff up there behind like little glass cases for you to look at, like some of the even older, like considered now antique medical equipment that's not used anymore. And he's got bookshelves full of books of anatomy, things of that nature. Just things that you could file through if you do happen to have a dot in education and are capable of reading. Otherwise, a lot of it's just looking at the pictures in the books while your friend's being worked on. Those of you who succeeded,
It's just one person.
and that looks like Ravit noticed,
succeeded.
and Asher's really going to notice. So I'm going to give Ravit the basic information, and Asher, you'll know this part also. But when he opens the door to go to the back, you can see the edge of his desk. And that's not necessarily anything unusual. It's a very nice, what looks like an oak desk of some sort. But what catches your eye as he opens the door, perhaps a little further than he meant to, is you see a fantastic court sword displayed up behind his desk. And it's mounted on the wall in its scabbard. And it is a hilt unlike on any sword you've ever seen before, minus Asher. Asher, you are a man of the military, and being as such at one point in time, you recognize that this is not just any old court sword. This is a court sword, and you've only ever heard of them. But this sword is only bestowed on people directly by the Emperor himself. So he comes back through the door and closes it behind him with a large bottle of kind of a milky green like water. And he comes over and sets it down on the floor, and he pops the cap and puts on a glove. And he kind of reaches down in there and picks up the first leech and carefully applies it to the wound. And he's very gentle, and he's putting them on there, and they latch to you and they don't feel great, but he goes, okay, we'll have about 20 minutes here. We'll have to wait for a short spell while they do their work, and then I'll detach them, and then you should be on your way.
Thank you so much.
Asher doesn't know anything about social nicety, so I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, I noticed your sword in the back. What'd you do for the Emperor to get the big fancy blade like that?"
A look of panic crosses Ravit's face. And she tries to play it off like she's really cool.
Hold on a second. First things first. We gotta take this one step at a time.
Been roleplay struck.
Then there was a firefight.
Yes, a failed heal check again. Man. He definitely trained this guy.
Getting that,
You ask him this question as he's applying a leech,
oh no!
and he accidentally squeezes the leech, and it digs in really far into Ravit's ankle. And he looks up sort of almost panicked for a moment.
Can we fortune point that?
Yeah, I'll let you.
Nice.
If we got a fortune point, I think we should fortune point.
I'm starting you guys with all 6 of them today. So
Okay.
you're starting with 6 fortune.
Yeah.
That doesn't bode well.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
That's
no.
really generous of you, though.
It's how Zweihander sessions are technically supposed to work. So I'm just giving you what technically you're supposed to have anyway. So okay,
Try
cool.
again.
Okay,
There we go.
So after killing one leech in an attempt to put it on there, after hearing Asher's question, he motions to Asher and he raises a hand. He's like, "My apologies, I wasn't you caught me off guard. But let me finish applying the leeches, and I'll let you see the court sword." And he goes and starts applying the rest of the leeches to the infection. He's like, "They're good. Now, like I said, we'll give these a short spell, and then everything will be fine. Now, about the sword."
Let's just say with a sword like that, I'm glad I didn't catch you on guard, and I'll wink at him.
He kind of chuckles a bit. He
Ravit
walks
just looks
back
slightly
and,
panicked.
He walks back and takes it off of its holster and walks out there into the front and sets it down on a table there. And he says, "Yes," he goes, "This is a sword that's given typically only to maesters. But I once had to care for the young prince before he became king and before he was emperor. And so his father, Hans II, had given me this sword as a sign of appreciation for my skills. Now, having seen this thing, you can all make a hard folklore check.
Okay.
It's hard folklore.
Nope.
We're all really talented.
Nope. None of you are aware. So, you all take it for his word that it sounds legit and reasonable, and you've never seen a sword. You've never seen one of these in person. Even you, Asher. Even the brigadier guards and generals don't typically carry court swords. These would be found only by the upper aristocrats who typically live in Valandria proper, in the city of Valandria, where the emperor's court and throne would be. So there'd be very few of these found outside of Valandria, of the actual castle area itself.
So are you saying that you're like the nursemaid of the current emperor?
Well, he'd become rather sick with the pox, and I made my way from Huttenberg here to Valandria and directly administered care for the boy, and since then I've returned to Huttenberg to continue my work here as the physiker in Huttenberg. The court life's not for me.
Well, I assume then that you have been quite aware of the recent illnesses plaguing the workers.
Yes, it is a shame that the plague doctor is no longer with us. I occasionally see patients who come in needing to be cured from the worm infestations, but some of it is, I'm afraid, even beyond my skills.
Do you cure worms with leeches too?
I'm afraid not.
Yeah,
I'm afraid that's a different kind of infestation.
Strategy.
Well, do you have understudies? It seems like we're going to be in great need very soon.
Well, Mason Mars was my apprentice for some time, and since then he's taken up barber surgery down the street. You all know him. And unfortunately, my other understudies they've all moved on. Many heading to places like Fromsburg and Minuet. But now just mostly me here. Luckily, there aren't too many who need this sort of care.
What do you know about Bravo Helfrich? Is he one of your understudies too?
Oh, no. No, Bravo is an entirely different man, I suppose you should say. He's a thinker, a philosopher. Spends his time in his academy with all the other philosophers, dreaming up new things for tomorrow. Considers himself a visionary. I suppose we should thank him. It was his brilliant mind that derived the formula for quintessence. And I've seen the quintessence used, particularly by the plague doctor on a time or two that I've crossed paths with him. He used it to great effect to cure the orc smolt. Prevented many from succumbing to waking up one day finding themselves an orc.
What was the origin of that disease?
A mushroom was discovered.
The mushroom?
Yes, grows on the skin topically. When disturbed, its spores can spread person to person. The savage orcs, they would almost accidentally coat their weapons in the stuff, just carrying it on their bodies. Then when they would strike you down, that's when the infection would set in. If not cured with quintessence, after a number of days, those who would be slain put in the ground would claw their way out as a member of the orcs. I've had to take off limbs. I've had to do many a great surgery with the help of Latronius in order to save many, many lives. That was during the wars.
Are there early signs of the illness before it's, taken hold?
Bumps, typically on the back, sometimes under the hairline. They eventually sprout, become full-blown mushrooms, crafted literally from your skin,
So,
like a pimple.
as he's describing this, does it remind us of that weird stuff we saw in those crates?
That leg. There was a leg that you opened that had the mushrooms growing off of it.
So, you talk about these things. What happens if some of these mushrooms were in town?
No, they don't grow here. Not naturally. They're found out in wooded areas typically. You can find them in wooded areas. It has to be moist and damp for fungus to grow. You can't grow them in the city, I'm afraid.
No, let me rephrase that. What if all of us saw with our own eyes these mushrooms in town?
Are you suggesting someone is bringing orc smolt into town?
Listen, I'm not going to say yes, but I'm not going to say no.
If there is somebody who isn't trained, who is handling orc smolt inside the city walls of Huttenberg, then I'm afraid that those worms may be the least of our concerns in a short time from now.
Now, what would you say if maybe, like, the Maester? What if the Maester had this shit?
You think that Maester Bravo Helfrich has acquired orc smolt?
I think my friend is speaking in hypothetical.
Yeah, I'm just worried. You know, I'm allowed to worry about things.
Simple speculation.
But also, like, if we were speculating, would you think that Alexi Arkwright would be qualified to handle these mushrooms?
He laughs a bit. Oh, the elf, Alexi Arkwright. Oh, you've been dealing with him, have you?
Allegedly.
Oh, Alexi Arkwright. He was discredited and tossed out of the school of the Academy of Natural Philosophy. I don't know, was it 10 years ago or more? After nearly killing his best friend in that explosion. I don't know if I would trust Alexi Arkwright to administer anything to orc smolt.
What about the Baron Von Helfrich?
He's another story entirely. Again, it was his brilliant mind that derived the quintessence. It's quite possible perhaps he needs some specimens to come up with a new cure for these worms, and perhaps he thinks they're related. It wouldn't be a far stretch to believe that the Maester, with all of his political influence, would not acquire himself some specimens for his own research.
Now, did this disease cause deformations?
Which one?
The mushroom one.
But yes, of course. After it sets in and after you perish, you wake up as an orc. Large, bulking, stout nose, large fanged tusk, bad distemperament. Those are some hefty side effects, of course.
Yeah, yes, but not like water-dwelling.
Like what?
Like a water-dwelling animal, like a fish.
Or a frog.
Oh, no. I've never seen there's a lot of mutants come in a lot of varieties, at least for what I've seen. When the Orcs Wars were taking place, some of them would come with terrible pincers on their hands and lashing tendrils sprouting from their backs. The Princes of Chaos, they do not confine themselves to any standardized form or function of what they decide to bestow upon their children. But no, never anything aquatic. But there's a river that runs, by Huttenberg, and the lumber for the siege used to travel from Treefell down the river here to Huttenberg to the mills. So I suppose there could be things lurking in the deeps of the river, but I've never seen anything of the sort.
Well,
Now, I'm a man with an ear to the wind, and I heard that a couple of carts were recently robbed.
Sounds terrible.
And
Who would do such a thing?
Someone should really do something about those highwaymen out there.
I could not help but notice the amount of bandages beyond just the wound that this young lady here has suffered. Many
Well,
of you look
Ravit isn't
bandaged
the only
up.
clumsy person in our party.
Yeah, we're all just really terrible at playing cards, and I still haven't figured out shaving.
Real clumsy.
Drunken bar fights.
You
That
should
too.
all be more careful. My services are far more expensive than that of Mason Mortimer Mars down the street.
Of course.
Alright, well, I think the leeches are done. He starts carefully removing them.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll rewrap you up. Gets a honey-soaked bandage out. Wraps it back up again. We'll give him a heal check. We'll see whether or not you can heal a level today along with getting rid of your injury.
Woo!
Here we go.
I believe in you.
Attaboy.
Woo!
There's a good check.
Yay.
So, yep. So you heal one level back and your injury has been... Your
Yay.
infection and your injury are gone. So you're...
Huzzah.
He grabs his court sword and he
And as he grabs it, she's like, "Oh, so you know the Emperor is coming? No?
I've heard such things, but I'm too old for those sorts of gatherings anymore. I'll probably just watch the parade as it passes by the shop and you know. But you should really take this opportunity. Most people do not get to see the Emperor in person. It'd be a once in a lifetime sort of event, perhaps maybe twice in a
Yes.
lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
The military parade alone will be worth the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he just motions over towards a tip jar, and he says, "For such a minor injury, and for the company that you've been today, I won't charge you for the leeching. My leeches were in need of a meal to begin with. So, if you wish to tip, you can do so. If not, hopefully I don't have to see you back in here anytime soon again. And
Yes,
be
hopefully.
careful down at the hobbled horsey. They don't call it a hobbled horsey for no reason. I've had a many have to wander down here with all sorts of broken bones and stuff from the bar fights that take
So
place
we've
down there."
discovered.
I'll tell you
drop
what, I'll take care
5
of this
silver
one.
in. Oh, okay.
And I'll drop the gold.
You are far too generous, dwarf. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And you are free to head out if you wish.
Thank you, Wolfgrim. Oh, my ankle feels better already. And I kind
Not
of
a
tested it
problem.
out a little bit. It's a lot less. It's like gone down in size. Like,
Yeah. And he has it wrapped up much tighter than what you had it wrapped up before.
Mhm.
So you can feel already that it's sturdier. It's wrapped the way that an athlete's ankle might be wrapped if you were going to wear cleats on it, you know, like to play football.
Yeah.
Like they wrap those pretty seriously. And that's the level of technique that you kind of get from him that you didn't so much get from the barber surgeon down the street. So
Well, now that we're out of there, sure we're going to be raising quite a bit of attention.
Yeah.
no.
I really hope we don't bring too much attention to ourselves.
It's going to be probably a good idea to lay low, wouldn't it?
This is always a good idea. After a night of too much fun.
What
I
is the
think s-
next thing on our agenda?
Well, if things are as they appear to be with the worms and, well, now this mushroom problem, no, it's either find a certainty that we won't be infected or find our way out.
It might be a good idea to beat Thrax anyway, since everybody in the city seems to hate us now.
This is true. We could find a new job.
Well, I would imagine if this quintessence is a real thing, apparently it is, maybe worth getting some.
We think maybe we should go and apologize to Halford's daughter.
No. She might ask for money, and I've spent.
Yeah, what are we gonna do about that situation?
Just not talk to them anymore. Listen, you ghost, they're gone.
Don't dwarves hold grudges? Wolfram, do dwarves hold grudges?
That's,
Run away from your problems, they disappear eventually, unless they catch up, why would
And then you run faster.
you run faster.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
yeah, the grudge holders, for certain, are a very proud people in our society. Being most of us, but yes, I would imagine they're not going to be too pleased with us, and this town is only so big.
So you guys make your way out of the Physiker's office. You're back on the main streets of Huttenberg. The hobbled horsey is behind you at this point, and if you continue down the road the direction you were going, you will near the gatehouse again, and you'll also then be able to turn into the area of town where all the warehouses and factories and where you can hear the hammering going on and work being done.
Infections everywhere, from what I can tell. And work till we drop, or we can see what comes next.
Do you think we have any obligation with the weird mermaid and the orc mushrooms that we may have accidentally given to the wrong person?
Well, it's possible.
I wonder, does it cure the orc mushrooms?
I would assume mushrooms do not like fire. He said dark, damp places, and fire is very hot and dry.
It is, yes.
But if it's a spore, maybe it carries it aloft and spreads more.
So we would have to burn the whole town, is what you're saying.
Perhaps.
If it gets bad. Don't remember that.
Well, if... I don't know. You said earlier maybe we should tend to things a bit, perhaps, and if we do find ourselves on the end of becoming infected, it'd be better to be friends with the one who can cure it.
We just stole a wagon full of supplies from them. I do not think they will want... And they sent people after us to try and kill us. I don't think they want to be friends.
What if, perhaps, supplies found their way back in their hands mysteriously?
We steal the goods from the people we stole them for originally, and then give them to the Baron, when allegedly these goods are being used to make our super weapon, to make the Emperor very happy with whoever has it when he gets here. Or did you forget about the big super weapon part?
At this point, I'm starting to believe everyone is making a super weapon. Just various formats.
I'm not making super weapon.
I am not either.
Well, I'm just putting ideas out. You know, if you have a different idea, then...
I think people are trying to make the same super weapon, so they are fighting over the same goods and plans. Otherwise, why would they all be so mad at each other? Wouldn't there just be a race to see who can get done first?
Well, some men are very petty. It sounds like there's quite a lot of
It's
history.
true.
As you approach the gatehouse area, you do not need to make scrutinized rolls to notice this. The random guards that you saw the other day when you smuggled in the goods are no longer working the gatehouses. You now see more men carrying the insignia of Bravo Von Helfrich manning the gates.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are definitely digging the trees somewhere.
Ugh.
That is not a fun job. Listen, do you think this might be because of us?
Yes.
I say definitely.
Most definitely, yes.
This is bigger than us.
So if we watch them for a moment, can we get a feel of kind of what their behavior is? Is it just they're providing increased security for people coming in? Are they searching people coming and going?
They
Are
are
they looking for
searching.
somebody?
Looking for
They are
someone?
searching things the way you expected to get searched the first time and didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
These guys are. you would consider them to have a little higher level of professional aptitude than the standard watchman guards that usually were kind of, yeah, okay, whatever, and, move on down the road. They're looking, and what's different is they're checking more of the carts leaving Huttenberg than more so than the ones coming in.
They're looking for those goods.
As though they are looking to recover something.
Mm.
Listen, maybe this is not the bad thing they're doing this. I love stealing, yes I do, and I like money. I would feel a little bad if thing we stole turned whole city into orc.
Maybe
Certainly makes it
spawned a
hard to make money.
prison. You don't have to pay for anything when you want prison. It's very convenient.
It is a simple life.
You stay in there a bit, get out, you go back in, you get out, you go back in.
You should ask that guard who was
Like
kicking
a
the crap
free-
out of you guys to look into this.
He was very competent. Surprisingly. I don't think I want to see him for a while, though.
Oh, I'm sure he'll remember us. Speaking of which, are any of these guys here any of the ones we dealt with?
Make an awareness check at standard.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I want to look for that, too. 'Cause I got shoved to the ground a lot. Just-
I don't think it's something Asher would pay attention to.
Those, you linked your red cap mushrooms there, Asher. Those are a different kind of mushroom than the mushrooms we're talking about. A red cap,
I thought so. I
red cap
was
mushroom?
trying to click it to expand and see what they do.
a red cap mushroom is a drug that you take, and it's like steroids. It makes you it helps you in combat.
Awesome.
All right, so no one's succeeding.
No, we're not very smart.
So you don't notice you don't notice any of the people there that you would have seen before or anything like that. So you guys make your way past the gatehouse. Shortly after, you see a man standing over kind of against the wall, and he seems to kind of be eyeing you. He's got sort of a long duster on and a foppish style hat. He tips the brow of his hat up a little bit so you can see his facial features, and he has a very long, slender nose and maybe slightly buck teeth. But he walks out your direction, and as he holds out the one side of his coat, you see that he has a set of papers that are almost like a rolled out scroll that hang from the inside of his coat. And he says, "Pardon me, but I believe you're who I've been sent to find.
It
My
depends
name
on who sent you.
is Mr. Boswell. I work for Maester Bravo Von Helfrich. There is nothing that happens that escapes the Maester's eyes. He is aware of who you are, and instead of sending his guards to find you, he has sent them to the walls to ensure that you do not leave. He has, however, dispatched me, his personal assistant, to come and offer you a chance to meet with him in person. He has a task he would like to pay you to do."
I have a
like some-
question.
Kind of insight check I can make here.
Scrutinize is what you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm like, is this some kind of a trap? That's what.
It does seem like one, yeah.
Yeah, just try to scrutinize that. And see this. He's
You're
on
not
the up
sure.
and up.
He's fine.
He's fine. I trust this man implicitly.
Mr. Bosman, if we are the people that you allege we are, why would your boss want to hire us to do something? Other than to hire us to swing from the gallows.
You bested 4 of his men, killed 1. The Maester, he is, what he lacks perhaps in... Oh, what is the word I'm looking for? What he lacks in compassion, perhaps, he makes up for in He's got an eye for talent. Let's put it that way.
He's a pragmatist.
Sometimes. Scrutinize. Yeah, you don't seem to sense any ill intent. He has... His weapons are holstered. He is showing them to you along with his credentialed paperwork that he can't just flaunt around everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks legit as far as you can tell, Wolfram, as someone who's been in high society before. Like, it carries definitely the seal of the Maester.
Does he look nervous or afraid of us?
He looks a little concerned, as though he doesn't do this sort of thing often.
Okay.
I would like to look around and see if there's anybody else watching him, watching us.
That's a good one. Did you roll awareness or scrutinize?
I have not yet.
Okay, so that's awareness. So go for awareness.
Just a standard.
Yeah.
16 out of 43.
A 16 is good. You kind of scan the place, and you don't notice that he has come with any manner of backup, but you do notice that where he was standing on the ground, and you couldn't see it from your original vantage point, but now that you've gotten a little closer, as you walked over to kind of meet with him, you can see that there is something drawn on the ground already, and something small and shiny has been placed at the front of the thing on the ground.
Well,
Asher doesn't know what that is, so he will keep it to himself, but keep an eye on it.
sounds
None of
like
you
an
have any
interesting-
idea what it is.
interesting proposal. What manner of work or activities would he be looking for?
He would like it not discussed in the streets of Huttenberg. It is a sensitive material. If you are who I believe you are, and according to the Maester's description, you match it, you already know what he seeks. And you already know where it is. Now, the Maester could hire many, many times your numbers to comb through the city till he finds it. That would come at great expense and a great expense of time, which he does not have right now. For the Emperor will be here soon. And the Maester does not wish to disappoint.
So, let's say someone were to steal a couple of wagons of goods from the Maester. And what would the normal punishment be for this?
Thievery of such a level would probably see you all hanged.
So, let's say someone were to have stolen a couple of goods, carts of goods from the Maester. And let's say they take a job for the Maester when asked. What does that do for the initial punishment?
The Maester is a very frugal man. If you can make right your wrong, he easily is one who would look the other way while you walk.
I like not dead. Shall we take?
I for one am very happy that I was in jail when said cards went missing. Therefore, wonderful.
Don't worry, we signed all the paperwork with your name. That way you got the cut in the profits.
I say we check this out.
It seems like a wise decision.
He seems like the person you don't say no to a meeting to.
Yes.
He has something important he wants you to see.
Mm.
Come with me.
Oh, whenever somebody says that, that means bad plan.
It's not a good thing.
He
No.
walks you over to what looks like a circle drawn in what would be like sidewalk chalk, except such a thing doesn't really exist. And you see a small blue gem sits at the top of the circle. The circle's about maybe 6 foot around, like in diameter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a small blue gem. And you see he takes the gem and he kind of slides it over to another position and he stands. He says, I need you to step inside the circle.
Have we seen anything like this before in our life?
No.
Movies
He's
all
standing in
people
the circle too. It's probably not that bad.
Yeah, he's
So
standing in the
Revito
circle
stepped
also,
in.
Mr. Boswell.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be the first.
Yeah, Revito
I'll
stepped
follow
in.
behind Wolfram.
Yes, I will join.
So are y'all squeezing in?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
You do so, and it
The
immediately
guillotine drops.
you immediately see like a poof of like green kind of vapor kind of begin to filter up from the edges of the circle. It glows with a blue fire, and you feel a wind rush up, and then the sound of lightning crackles, and you find yourself gone. As everything clears, you're no longer in the streets of Huttenberg. You stand on a marble floor in front of this large machine-like contraption. And if you have any thoughts in education, or if you'd like to make an education roll, go ahead and make a routine education roll.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's a thingamajig.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
that's in it.
uneducated.
I'll roll it anyways. This sounds cool.
Yeah, get some of that.
Education.
No.
I'm very educated.
I'm educated in the act of defenestration.
Yeah. Not educated in this.
Yeah, you don't even have a dot in it, so you were flipped to fail, Ravit, but it was a good attempt regardless. So
Yeah.
so you
I rolled success, so
you
I
did.
did get it. Yeah.
Wolfram,
Mm.
you would recognize that this contraption, and it has all these things that are kind of wheeling around a large golden sphere in the center, is a diagram that you've seen pass through the aristocracy from time to time, and through publications from what you would consider to be the like tinfoil hat type people. That this is a very large, somewhat to scale model of what people believe the planets would look like. As they whirl around this concept that they revolve around this large star. Very controversial. Nobody believes this sort of crap, but that's what it appears as though you're looking at. And on this contraption, up near the top, you see large coils that are arcing electricity from one to another. And you see a somewhat almost robed-looking figure. It's kind of a robe, but not quite. It's kind of very avant-garde the way that he's dressed. But you see this, what appears to be an elf. His back is to you, and he looks like he's peering through a large telescope that looks out through the top of the building.
Fascinating. I always wanted to see something like this in person. Didn't think I ever meet somebody who was interested in this.
Mr. Boswell steps out of the circle, and he reaches down and picks up the blue token. I would have the honor of introducing you all to Maester Bravo Von Helfrich. And as he says that, you see the chair kind of spins around, and it begins through the automated chairs that they used to have that would like take people from one floor to another. It kind of works its way down along the sides of this contraption as these planetary bodies kind of continue to whirl around each other, and he makes his way down to the bottom and very elegantly steps off of it onto the floor. You see a slender elf standing before you, wearing what can only be described as the highest level of fashion. His hair is braided and immaculately swept off to the side. His hairstyle is a little bit like Ravit's, where it's shaved on one side and all combed over to the other, with very fine braids throughout part of it. You see he wears like what appears to be almost like a kilt on one side, and it meets somewhere near the middle. So you can see he has one leg that's somewhat exposed, though it has like a pant leg to it underneath, and the other side is a robe that hangs nearly down to his ankle, the way a standard robe would be. He has sort of a cloak that kind of drapes up over one arm, and at his side you see his court sword, which strikingly looks a lot like the court sword you just saw in the office of Winston Dappermore. He places one hand upon his hilt and looks over the group. He nods to Mr. Boswell. He says to him, Mr. Boswell, I believe it is time that you go prepare the chamber, so that we may show our guest what we have brought them here for. You see Mr. Boswell takes his hat, and he nods and wanders off to a side area where he slips back in there behind some draped curtains. Introductions being out of the way, I am Maester Bravo Von Helfrich. And you see he wears a large monocle over one of his eyes. And as he talks, he doesn't so much look at you, but almost through you. And sometimes you get the sense that he's looking behind you or around you. But he doesn't seem to ever make eye contact as he continues to speak. And it seems as though he occasionally looks at something and it kind of breaks up his speech a little bit, as though he has to admire something for a moment, and then goes back to talking. I am honored that you have taken time to come here today to see what it is that I need you for.
Well, we very much got the impression that it was less than
Optional.
Yes. But we are here. We are happy. We are not dead. These are things that count.
He walks over, and because of all the gold and the high pillars and the glass ceiling and everything else in here that you, as you're just trying to take in just the level of wealth that he lives in, you hadn't even noticed that he has a large crystal-like looking ball on a pedestal not too far away, and it's filled with a blue gas that kind of swirls in it. He walks over towards it, and he puts out his hand and runs his long, he has almost long fingernails, longer than you would expect for someone, and he runs it over the top, and you see lightning crackles off his fingertips onto the orb. And as he does, the blue fog begins to swirl. And he turns and he stops, and with his other hand he grabs his monocle and he holds it away from his eye, and he peers down at the orb. And he goes back. Mr. Boswell, he did not tell me any of your names, but they are not of consequence. I did not bring you here for your name or title. I brought you here because I need you to do a job for me. Recently,
Good enough for me.
2
Yes.
wagons of esoteric goods were stolen.
That's the worst.
Indeed. Those bandits were tracked, and unfortunately, they were more capable than I had given them credit for.
Very good, bandits. This is a thing you should mark on calendar, yes.
So now I am in need of bandits of my own.
A bandit of my bandit is my friend? Is this what I hear?
I need people of talent, specific talents that I do not have. Those who are familiar with the back alleys of Huttenberg in ways that I am not.
Yes, that is us. Now, what would you like us to do?
First, I must show you what I'm going to do with it. And then you will see why it must be done. He motions, and the curtains, with a gentle breeze, sort of slide off to the side a bit. And you see Mr. Boswell is pushing a large cart with another, I guess, sheet, for a lack of a better word, a white sheet over what appears to be a humanoid figure stretched out on a table. If you've spent any amount of time in Huttenberg, I'm sure by now you've come to learn that I am of great station. Many hats, many responsibilities. Not only do I run this, the Academy of Natural Philosophy, but after the war with the orcs 60 years ago, I had been given charge over much of the production of siege equipment in Huttenberg. Siege no longer needed. The factories have been reconverted. They now produce quintessence, many other materials needed. Should we ever come across orc smolt again? Others creating carriages, other things of the sort. But a year ago, everything changed. An astrological event caught my eye. Something fell from the heavens. From here, in my observatory, I watched as it came crashing down upon the forest of Linovia to the north. Not too far from the village a tree fell. I have gone to great length and great expense to see that everything related to this event can be brought here and studied. I believe we are on the verge of a renaissance. So I paid my workers well. I give the best, and I expect the best. But now they complain of long hours, unsuitable work conditions, they claim. And one of them has taken something from me. And I believe that one of them has hired a group to take more things from me.
Just so we're clear, are we that group?
Of course you are.
Okay, good.
Now, I am not a man of petty conflict with the people of Huttenberg. That is well below my station. I look to the future at all times. So I have already constructed an answer. And to this, I will now reveal to you the future. And Mr. Boswell pulls back the sheet. And laying on the bed, you see what appears to be a person. But as you get a little closer, and he encourages you to get closer and look, you notice it's got all manner of wires hooked to it. You can see near the knees there are springs and joints. As you get closer and you see some of the casings, you can see some of the rivets. It's very finely crafted. But you're essentially looking at some sort of mechanical creature. It's laying there lifeless.
Now, for clarity, does it look like a robot that looks like a person, or does it
Yes.
look like a person who looks like they've been augmented?
It's a little hard to tell which, but as far as you can tell, it's more machine than person.
Okay.
Though a lot of the machinery is made to replicate biological functions.
Does the person seem to be alive?
They seem to be completely motionless. The eyes are closed.
Is there any breathing happening?
No. You don't see any movement.
Okay.
He reaches up to the sky and he tells you all, I would stand back if I were you.
I stand way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And he puts one hand on the orb, and the other he reaches to the sky, and with a crackle you see clouds begin to form above him. And the entire chamber begins to sweep with winds much like what was inside the circle when you stepped into it that brought you here, and you see Mr. Boswell takes off his hat and clenches it to his chest a bit as he stands back and watches in marvel. As a loud thunderbolt strikes the Tesla coils up at the top, and electricity runs down and into the machine, and then you begin to see the parts move. The gears begin to turn, steam spurts out of its nose, and the thing comes to life and sits up. You hear sort of a hollowed voice come out of it. Hello, I am LCD 9000. Maester Bravo Von Helfrich, what would you like today? And he walks over and he runs its hand across the back of its shoulder, and you can see kind of sparks of electricity coming again off of his fingertips and kind of arcing to this thing. He looks at you. Says, marvelous, isn't it?
It's impressive.
It's one
It
word
is-
for it.
Yes, it is something.
For many years now, we've been working on golem technology. Constructs capable of long, hard labor. The kind that will free these poor, whiny workers from their jobs.
From
Ones
the
that will be able
unsuitable work
to...
conditions.
These models will not, they will not have to worry about being infected by worms or require quintessence. They'll be able to do the work that is needed. We'll free up the citizens of Huttenberg to once again aspire to new and greater and better things, that they won't be tied down with their mundane jobs anymore. We'll replace them with these. And as he says that, the thing begins to stand up and starts to move, but you see it's like the batteries die and the power goes back out. It goes, and it like powers back down, and Mr. Boswell hurries and grabs it and lays it back down on the bed and puts the feet back up. And so you see the problem. I can conjure storms, and I have lightning at my disposal. But the power needed to power one of these, it's not sustainable through my means. There are too few who can learn the arts the way I have, who can summon electricity from midair. These are rare gifts. But there's a substance. There's a substance that for thousands of years is believed to be a myth. Some refer to it as Philosopher's Stone. Others refer to it as ambrosia. Yet others know it by its true name, mana. But to the uninitiated, it is called Witchstone. Believed to be only harvested in places where comets and meteors strike. There were several boxes of Witchstone upon the wagons that were stolen. With Witchstone, in the quantities that were aboard those carts, I believe there is a way we can refine it to a power source capable of bringing about a new renaissance for Huttenberg. But if people are going to bring about a new age of art and science and thinking, they must first be freed of the mundane struggles of food, water, sickness. And to do that, I need all of the Witchstone that you stole from me.
Whoopsie.
You found out.
Well, that doesn't sound like a weapon of mass destruction.
Now, why did you have the leg with the orc mushrooms and the strange mermaid?
Not curious about the mermaid. Yes, the mermaid.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no mermaid. There's no leg with
It was a very
mushrooms.
fish lady.
It was on the carts.
he looks over at Mr. Boswell, and you see Mr. Boswell, he kind of has this look on his face like, sir, as you know, as a biologist, there was many abnormalities by the workers retrieving the Witchstone. And remember, I'd asked you if I could acquire a few of them for my own research here at the academy, and you said yes, that I could. And you see the Maester stands for a moment in contemplation.
Yes, there was the
Yes.
Lake of Oxmold, mermaid.
I do remember your request. So it seems as though you are also in debt to Mr. Boswell a few items as well. Those are of little consequence to me. I need the Witchstone. I do not know who has it. The surviving men that I sent after you came back speaking of an elf and a dwarf.
Very well. Listen, we know the first part of our payment here is, with not dying. But it cannot help but be asked, is there money?
I can make it worth your while. If
So is
all
that a
of your
yes?
request are gold crowns, consider it done.
I don't know what else we would request. What else is there?
This would be agreeable. But before we say yes, may I confer with my friends in private?
Take all the time you need.
And then we all huddle.
Yeah, we all huddle right next to him, but he can't hear us.
We whisper.
Because we're in the huddle. Huddle is sacred.
Stage whispering.
Everybody's holding pinky fingers.
Totally don't trust this guy.
Right?
Oh no. Did you see what he made? This
The real question is, if we help him, then he can create these machines. And I do not know if that is the right way for us to go. This does not seem like the future we want.
He does not make these machines. It's someone else who is going to, because someone else stole the plans. Remember?
But we do not know who stole the plan.
We do. Where's my notes? One more.
The guy
The
in the
lesser
prison
of two
cell
evils.
told you
Yes.
it was Jeremiah Umbridge was the
Oh,
one
the
who stole the
halfling.
plans. The
Oh
halfling
yeah,
union
the
labor
Yeah.
union
leader.
guy, the communist guy.
But the guy Maxwell Keller who gave you that information, he told you that it was a weapon that was stolen.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He wants to make robot weapons and not
soldiers,
robot
yeah.
workers. Yeah, that's what Ravit's thinking.
Well, you think some guy named Helfrich is not the good guy?
What are you suggesting?
You know what's strange is also is there's the worms at the workplace. Supposed to
Yes.
be making the mana.
He does not seem to be so perturbed by the workplace conditions, all these worms.
Yes, he's more. Yes, he does not care about people, so why would he try to make people's lives better?
I think he wants more brilliant minds working with him and for him. Science.
I think he just wants slave labor that does not complain.
That he does not seem to like the complaining. No.
But it could be for the greater good if he is using it for science and inventions.
It would. I'm sure the robots could not complete very technical tasks, so people would still be needed for certain things, but they would not have to slave away in the factories.
Yes, but as someone who's come from their people, I will tell you when you are rich, you only care about rich people. And poor that will do things for you. You don't need the poor.
And this is very much so his. I do not need the poor. I make my own.
We maybe
is
want to tell
lower
him what he
than
wants to
poor?
hear, then go talk to Jeremiah.
Yes, let's tell
I think
him
that
we
is
do,
a good plan.
and then maybe we find Witchstone. And I don't want to say it here because apparently he can hear and say all the things.
Not in the huddle. There's pinkies.
The huddle is
pinky.
impenetrable.
No manner of lightning can strike through this wall.
So, then we do it, but we
We
don't
say
do
yes. We do it, but we
and
don't
then
do it.
we pursue interest in other avenues,
Or
and then
We get it.
because we
and
can always give it to him and then steal it back. We fulfilled
Or-
our promise.
We just get it and we, kaboom.
Kaboom.
Make our own robot.
We could make our own weapon and
We
destroy
could make our
Huttenberg.
own.
Well, I
Ah.
don't know what to make my own weapon. That is no fun.
That
But
is
I
too
want
much
to
work.
not him have this weapon.
I think he wants to use it for a weapon.
I do not trust him. Listen, I have watched enough Putin documentaries to know how this will go.
See, you're putting it on a little thick, but I think I can believe you.
hmm
Very
So-
good.
All right. So let's tell
I'm
him
not
what he wants
sure.
to hear, and then
We might
can
have
get
to
some
pick
more
the
information.
lesser of two evils, so we will
Yes.
talk to both.
Let's
At
do
least
that.
find out how evil the other one is.
Yes.
It's good point of ours.
All right, we are in agreement.
Well, yeah. We do. High five.
As you all start to turn around, he's not looking at you. He's looking back at his blue orb with his monocle.
He was peeping the toms, that man.
You've come to a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We will help. Yeah. We will do as you request.
Good.
you got it.
I will offer each of you 20 gold crown if you retrieve all the items. Because you injured one of my men were not able to trace where all the goods went to after you scattered in the plaza. But if you know where these goods are, in the same way that I brought you here, I can scry and I can send you there immediately. But you'll have to reveal who it is that currently obtains my witch stone.
We know this.
We wanted two people.
Yeah,
It really depends on what went down after we left.
Yeah.
and see what happened. We'll beat tracks ourselves. Go walk and find out.
Do we know where the other person is?
Do we know where we
Alexi?
are?
Or we're
We're in the he said where we were. The science place.
The Academy of Natural Philosophy.
Yeah, Academy of
The
Natural
observatory at the top.
I mean, he said that. Is there a window nearby we could confirm that?
It's most of the ceiling is window and parts of the wall on the way down. Like you can see that you're in one of the tallest buildings in Huttenberg. Like you walk over to the edge and you kind of look over the rails. Like you can tell that you're definitely there. You
We're
have
not
kind
in
of
a
a bird's
basement
eye view
dungeon.
from up here. So where should I put you? Or would you like to take the stairs down?
It's a lot of stairs.
Our friend has a bad ankle. We'll teleport
Hey.
down to bottom, and then we'll go begin investigation.
How about this? Hobbled horsey.
You think?
It is not here, and I do not,
What if
more
we-
secrets under our hats, the better.
What if we went to the last spot that the wagon was?
Ooh, yeah.
That's better. Let's do that.
To the plaza.
Yes.
He walks over and, unlike the one in the alleyway, and now that the mist is cleared, you see there is already a metallic circle already built into the floor. And it has a small dish, concave dish in the front. And he walks over and from a pocket, he pulls forth a shard of witch stone, which you now recognize as the stones that were in those crates that you had opened up. Now it's been given a name, if you will. And he takes it and he places it on the dish. He waves his hand over it, and it begins to melt, to liquefy. And in a small channel, it runs around the circle until it creates a small ring of liquid inside the channels of the circle. And it begins to emit that kind of a greenish hue mist that you experienced when Asher did when he opened up the crate. And they got a kind of a whiff of that green mist. Step inside.
Sure.
Ravita holds her breath again because she's paranoid.
It's probably a good idea. All of us put on our bandit mask.
Yes.
Yes, you wear your mask. No mesothelioma here.
He reaches over and he places one hand on the crystal orb, and lightning begins to crackle around it. And as you're standing inside the circle, you see that the blue sort of mist in there begins to clear, and you can, for a brief second, catch almost like an overhead view of the plaza. And you can see people walking around in it. And you see he's eyeing it. And then he puts his hand back out your direction and raises it to the sky, and like a bolt of lightning strikes, and there's a loud flash and a boom once again. And when everything clears and the mist kind of settles, you find yourself at the entrance to the alleyway where you had duck and hidden the day before.
It's a very good alley.
It's a great alley.
There's just a residue on the ground in a circle around you, almost emitted with like blue flame, the way that you would get out of a propane sort of flame that just then kind of goes out. It's not even like a true fire. It just kind of flickers away real quick, and you're left in the plaza, a little unnerved.
Well, now that we know we're being observed 24/7, how do we want to approach this?
Well, do we know how to find the elf? Is that who it was?
We can go see if his creepy friend is hanging out at the horsey again.
Yeah.
Let's
The
see.
guy who approached us with the same order we had.
I
Marcus Wilde is who you're asking about.
either that or we go talk to our dwarven friends, but they are going to be so mad.
Quite mad, yes. And also, that leads him directly to them. Now, I'm suspicious. Did they get arrested?
I don't know.
Seems
Is-
that not because he just said there was an elf and a dwarf. I think if they'd been arrested, they would have had names.
You know there were 4 guards,
Mm-hmm.
and they took off after the rest of you because
Yeah.
you ran.
Mm.
Because it's how the police work. If you run, you're the ones who get chased. It's just how it works.
Yep.
So they ran after
Not the
you
people
guys,
sitting there with all the goods.
leaving.
So maybe they won't be mad at us. Maybe they'll be like, thanks for getting the guards off our backs.
Yeah, so clearly
And
they
taking
made
all
their
our money.
escape. Because then you guys injured one of the guards, and the guards had to flee.
Yeah.
So when you guys left the plaza, the elf and the dwarf were in a heated argument about something that you didn't take time to pay attention to.
No, we got the fuck out of there.
That's the correct thing.
Well,
So you want to make your way to the hobbled horsey?
Sure.
Go order a dwarven ale and a whatever the other drink was.
Jen.
But we don't see
shot at
anything
Jen.
else here. No.
Not in the plaza at this point. There's the regular people, meandering about. A couple people who may have been standing close to when you suddenly appeared might have gotten a little frightened, and kind of like a couple kids or whatever, like kind of take off running, like mommy, people just vanished into the alley. Quit telling stories again. What have I told you about lying? And you hear them like getting chastised for telling some story, right? Like there may have been a couple kids who'd seen you, like that'd have been about it. So
Okay.
It's interesting he didn't bother to have guards.
Did you see the lightning in the fingers? If I had that, I would not need guards.
This is what I was thinking. I could, if I could summon lightning from the sky to smite my enemies, I would
Like-
not need bodyguards.
Not to, give away my plans too much, but I was thinking about shooting him there, and then he made lightning, and I'm like, no. This is a dumb idea.
Maybe we don't shoot it.
Yes.
Yet.
There's always time for that later.
All right, so we look for maybe the elf first.
Mm-hmm. He was
Yes.
the buyer, after all.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to go to the hobbled horsey and see if you can find Marcus. Because you don't know where Alexi lives. So you make your way to the hobbled horsey, and you enter in and make a routine awareness check for those
Sure.
who are looking for him.
Yeah, I know what he looks like now.
Aha! That's a 31, which is a success.
That is a good one. That is a critical fail.
That is a critical
No.
fail.
I don't remember who this guy was.
No,
You had a lot to drink that night. It's,
never seen him.
All right. So, Wolfram, you spot him, but not before he gets the drop on Gritta. And before Gritta knows what's going on, she finds a stiletto to her back and a dirk to her throat.
Rude.
And he looks over her shoulder, well, around her shoulder. She's an ogre. She's pretty big. So he kind of looks around the shoulder and he looks at you and he goes, "You'll have a lot of nerve coming here after what you pulled."
You have all the nerve grabbing the ogre, not the dwarf.
That's true. We actually came to look for you, so it's good that you found us. Go ahead and take the knife away from my friend.
Where's the money?
Well, guards have a way of squeezing every bit out of you.
Alexi will not be pleased.
Neither was
Well,
I.
We will
More
not please either.
importantly, he'll let you keep, he'll let you keep what was supposed to be money for that Hal Davinson, and we'll go ahead and call it all even if you can produce the goods.
Well, last I saw that you guys had the goods.
Yes, did you not have goods?
We got a portion of it,
Oh, good.
but
Where
What are you
damn,
missing so we know what to get?
that damn elven girl, that Jeannie, her and Hal took off with the rest of it.
You mean dwarf?
Yes, the dwarves.
And what did you get?
We got one box of some strange rocks. And we got the large casket, the fish woman in it.
Have you watched the movie The Lighthouse?
Unfamiliar.
Okay, good. Do not take any ideas with mermaid. It is not appropriate.
All right. So he kind of pokes Greta in the back a little to motion her towards the table and pushes you kind of into the booth and slides along next to you, taking the other dagger down from your throat, just holding the stiletto kind of at your side, just so no one tries any funny business, and kind of pushes you into a booth and motions to the others to take a seat.
For me to slide in.
I'll sit on the end.
Yeah.
Now,
I'll
listen,
squeeze up right up next to him.
we understand. My employer understands that you're not familiar with him in the slightest. You have
No.
no loyalties to him or Hal whatsoever. You're just getting paid and doing a job. To a degree, I can respect that. I'm getting paid and trying to do a job here myself. Now, I don't know what Hal was willing to show you at his workshop, but my employer, Alexi, he is on the verge of something truly special.
Oh.
Is it Golem?
A what?
Never mind.
I'm asking about that word. I don't know what that means. It's never that word.
No. We were fortunate that we acquired what he considers to be the most important of the goods, the box of the strange stones.
Yes, okay.
He's real close to a breakthrough.
Breakthrough on what?
I don't understand it. I'm only there to help.
What
He,
does it look like? Is it
You should give us tour.
impressive? Big?
He's paranoid.
Well, listen, I understand this. Thieves are everywhere, but you should give us tour.
Yes, come back with me, and I will send Alexi out. And while he's gone, I'll show you what he's doing, and then you'll see why you need to recover the stones.
Yes, this is a great idea. I like this so much. Now, please take knife off friend. There is no harm here.
He kind of looks at Greta. All right. He resheaths his stiletto. Come, I'll show you.
We go.
Yes.
So he takes you down a few kind of back alleys. He doesn't walk the main streets. He kind of slinks around, and you notice as he moves, he's kind of always keeping an eye out for who might be following. He, unlike Mr. Boswell, who approached you in broad daylight in the middle of the street, this guy clearly is more accustomed to the back alleys, and he kind of slinks around through the back. He makes his way around a few corners and to a back door of a warehouse that's not down in the run-down part where Hal's workshop is, but it's a little closer over to where the factories and everything are. A little back towards more where the Physicker's office is. Just a few blocks away from it. And he gets a key out and undoes a lock on the back door and opens it. Says, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. And he disappears, leaving you in the alleyway. It's a very long, unnerving couple of minutes.
Keeping my ear out.
I got the eyes, got the ears. Good.
Well, I got the ear. I'm keeping my ear out.
Singular. I've got the single
Yes.
eye actually, so it's interesting.
I've got both ears and both eyes out.
We should really swap, and I should be the eyes, and you should be the ears. But no, we're gonna.
We do things different around here.
Yeah.
One's got one eye, one has
Different
one
isn't
ear,
good.
one has one hand. And that was just a character creation.
Oh yeah, I should have said I'll lend a hand with your awareness check. Great, this is the opportunity.
So
Next time.
you hang out for a few minutes, and as you observe, you see Alexi walks down near the entrance across the entrance of the alley down at one end, and seems rather oblivious to whatever you might be doing down there, kind of lost in his own world as he appears to be talking to himself as he walks past.
Just, real casual, having a cigarette.
Yep. And you see, pretty soon, the door creaks back open and Marcus looks out. He's been dispatched. He's only going to the market. He won't be gone long. Come here inside and I'll show you what he's working on.
Hustle, hustle.
Absolutely.
Looking for a box of rocks while we're hustling.
I get a scrutinize on this guy.
He takes you in, and when you're in the back room, it's barrels of stuff that are kind of hastily labeled. There's boxes all over the place. Things are kind of a mess. They're not exactly in any kind of order.
That is the most amazing roll possible on a scrutinize.
Wow.
I didn't think that was even possible.
It is.
Ow.
And you managed it.
He definitely noticed you scoping the joint out.
Oh my god.
I thought you were scoping
You
him
realize,
out.
Wolfram,
I was actually. Yeah,
you're
I was
looking around at these crates and you're like, crap, like all of these crates look the same. And they all look like the crate that had the stones in it. You'll never figure out, you don't have time to go through all these, you'll never find what you're looking for. So you guys make your way through this crowded back room. And you make your way into a much more smaller, cramped lab workshop-like area. And what you see in the center is a much smaller contraption than what you saw in Bravo's laboratory. And at first glance, it appears like a cauldron. But it's got a weird metal top that seems like it bolts down to it. It's got a few, like, pipes that kind of stick out the back of the top of it, and a funnel or two that is near the top where it looks like you can pour things in. And it's not covered up with a sheet like Bravo's, it's just sitting there. And he walks over to it, and Marcus kind of hits the top of it, and it's made of a metal. It's just tunk, tunk, tunk. He goes, I know what you're thinking. It doesn't look like much. But once he's perfected his formula, Alexi believes he'll be able to present this to the Emperor and restore his family's good name.
What does it do?
Does it make soup?
I do like soup. Chicken and gnocchi is very good, but zuppa toscana also good.
It doesn't
Makes
make
orange
any
soup.
soup. This is the second iteration of Arkwright's cauldron. His first attempt, he left the engineering to your previous employer, Davinson. But Hal screwed up the design. He didn't follow the blueprints correctly. When they attempted to turn the machine on, it exploded. Lexi got out of the way. Hal, unfortunately, did not. Left him bound in a wheelchair, angry, burned, a victim of his own desire to cut corners. So, through the careful use of his blueprints and notes that he's collected over 10 years, I had heard of Arkwright's invention. Come here to help him see it through.
What
Very
does it
cool.
do?
What?
What does it do?
What does it do?
Yes.
Well, better question is what won't it do?
That is a less helpful question.
If the cauldron works as anticipated, it could be used to power a great many a machine. But the key is a fuel source,
The stones, yes?
the stones.
What are stones?
He refers to them as witch stones. They're apparently some hard-to-find material that being harvested up near Treefell now. Some think it has to do with that calamity took out half the forest. Either way, it's supposed to be potentially used to create a more... Well, it's incredibly volatile. It has
Not safe.
a lot of uses. Handling it is incredibly dangerous. It's combustible. It's not terribly different than coal, but it's far more potent. You have to refine it.
I see.
So where is it?
Well,
Do I see a box of coal? Of super coal? Witch stones just laying
you do.
around? I
you
do?
see
Cool.
a box
They're
over there.
everywhere.
It's open.
Every box.
And he walks over and he grabs one, and he picks it up with a workshop glove.
That little thing would power the cauldron to... So that powers that which powers other things?
Alexi has other plans for his cauldron once it's complete. But I think he's narrow-minded in his vision. Watch.
You deal with it.
See, the problem is that in its raw material form, all the energy is contained within. And we can't control the combustion. It has to be refined into a liquid form, one that can feed the cauldron. And that is what my employer is working on. The real genius behind Arkwright's cauldron is this. And he walks over to a nearby bench where you see like a glass beaker with a cork on the top. And inside of it, you see a blue liquid that is not terribly different looking than what you saw inside of Helfrich's orb. But where inside the orb it was a gas, here it appears like a milky blue liquid. And when you get close enough and you look inside, you can see little crackles of electricity kind of flowing through it.
So, friends, we need to take this witchstone, yes?
I think yes. Everybody huddle up again. Huddle up.
Do I see a wagon or anything?
Not inside this Oracle shop.
Not in the alley, I assume either.
There was not one in the alley. Now, there'd be one out front probably somewhere that you could hijack if you needed to.
Like, well, we know what the workshop is now. We can come get it at any time.
So this is what Alexi thinks he's going to do with it.
What would you do with it?
Look, there are a great many things that this could do.
Go
I'm
on.
not a philosopher like Alexi is. I'm a simple worker who lost his job to some worm infestations. But this has intrigued me. And he walks over and he opens up a door, and you walk into a much smaller room, and you see
This is his little lab.
you see a large contraption that takes up most of a wall. And there's levers, and there's pulleys, and there's dials. He's been working on this for 10 years, probably. He says that someday it'll make a difference, but I don't know. He can't even fully explain what he thinks it'll do.
What is it supposed to replace? Do?
I'll be honest, he mumbles about it, but I can't even comprehend his mutterings.
No?
Well, so what you're saying is that you have a greater vision for what could be done with it. Do you have the means to express that vision?
If this thing is able to generate the sort of power needed to power that machine, its applications would be nearly endless.
What if it was used to power mechanical people to work very long shifts,
Mechanical
doing
what?
very menial labor, theoretically?
I mean, if such a thing were even possible,
If it were possible. You said it could do anything.
I suppose it
What
could.
the undesirable job is leaving people like yourself to pursue greater interests.
I mean, it's rather large. It's hard to move around. It's not terribly portable. I don't know how well.
What if it was like person-sized?
If it was what?
Person-sized.
Well, to contain the power contained within these stones, I'm not sure you could miniaturize it.
Yes. Just theoretically, we're talking about possibilities. Think big. Big thinking.
Well, it's
How would you feel about that if that was a thing that could happen?
if if we can get this thing working, I'm hoping that'll inspire Alexi to think further. And that when our work is done, we'll have everything we've ever dreamed of. Wealth, power, something to present to the Emperor that can restore his family's name and elevate us to, well...
Now, what if there was someone who was already thinking bigger?
Well, who?
Well, let's not name names, because, you do not, name names. This is naughty. But, maybe you're backed the wrong horse. Maybe there's someone that can use what you have in the way that is truly fantastic to free people from shitty jobs.
You're not talking about Jeremiah Umbridge, are you?
Who is that? I do not know this name. Do I know this name?
We know
Is
this
that what
one.
he's trying to think of? We should
don't
talk
know.
to him.
I heard some rumblings that Jeremiah Umbridge has stolen some plans for something that he believes will bring about revolution for the people.
No, that was weapon. This is different. This is helpful, I think. Listen, all you super science people, it's hard to tell who is good and bad.
Look, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a philosopher like Alexi. I'm an engineer. I
Listen,
know how to
you
build
came-
things.
You walked over to shelf and you said, "Look at this bottle of milk with lightning in it. If the shoe fits, you must wear it. Science super person. Though
I
you
don't
have
understand how any of this stuff works.
listen,
Alexi
I don't-
goes to the back. He's the apothecary. He goes to the back. He comes out with vials that are not
You don't
marked.
know how it works. But
He mixes
what
this
would you-
stuff together. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it blows up in the beaker. It's volatile. It's dangerous stuff.
So what if we knew someone who does know how it works, that wants to do the big things that you want to do with this?
Oh, I know who you speak of now.
You guess games, but we know guess games. Listen, this is question.
Alexi will never hand over his contraption to Bravo Von Helfrich.
I do not think he wants his contraption.
Yes, he does not.
He wants the stones.
He has his own contraption.
We have Wiener.
Of course he wants the stones. Listen, the other crate of them is still with Hal Davinson. Shoot, he's a much easier target to steal from.
You are both target.
Well,
But
how
we want
quickly the tables have
a
turned.
person who is best suited for stones to have them. No?
It seems as though you've used me.
We used you. I do not. Yes, we have.
Well,
You did
So-
put knife to my best friend.
Yes, you did.
I could draw my stiletto and die here in my employer's laboratory, defending
Yes, you
his
could.
secrets while he's at
It
market.
seems very unnecessary.
But I'm quite confident that not even Bravo Von Helfrich can duplicate the bottled lightning required to make this thing even function. So go
That
ahead.
is. He said, "Go ahead." Do we do?
Do we trust him more than this other man?
I don't.
I
I trust none
most
of them.
of you.
Yes,
Essentially none of them. Yes.
I like all of you, but these people listen. And our job is to not die by end of day.
It's a difficult job.
We're okay at it.
Yeah, and we're not great.
We're not good at it. We're okay. We're middling.
Mhm.
Mixed results.
Yeah.
Well,
Listen here,
Go on.
friend.
rough me up if you must.
I have a question for you
We
first.
we want to know what you think. We have opinions. We want to know what a local resident would think about what would be best for people. mechanical people doing menial jobs, menial labor. This device, we're not sure what it does. Whatever the dwarf is working on in his workshop.
Look,
Or Jeremiah, his strange weapon.
there's only
Talk to
6 more days till the Emperor arrives.
Yeah, plenty of time. There's plenty of time to just fight. Panic.
If you take this witch stone from Alexi, then we will not have time to acquire any more.
Mm-hmm. That is
About to
true.
close up shop. Effectively run him out of town.
Yes, that is also true, but
Sounds like a good time to find new employment.
yes. I do have a question for you. Do you hold grudges?
Do I hold a grudge?
Yeah, do you hold grudge?
No, I don't suppose so.
Good, good. We take Witchstone and we go now.
Very well.
We might bring it back if we decide this project is better than other ones, but with no promises.
Yes.
We're gathering information.
You had more.
Jeff, since you failed to scrutinize, I'm not letting you roll this.
Oh, you're kidding me? I already know what's going on.
We're
But,
very polite for
I
striking
rolled
it
100. It was
Any-
amazing.
Any of the
It's
rest
100%
of you
success.
who would like to try, well, yeah, anyone who'd like to try a challenging scrutinize?
I'd love to try.
Oh, boy.
down. Ooh, I beat it by 1.
Ooh, Asher barely made it.
I beat it. My
I did
goodness.
it.
20.
Hang on.
Is anyone
I'm looking
using
for the
any
button.
fortune?
We'll see. Oh yeah,
Oh.
I am. I'm using a fortune point.
All right. I'm up to 2 misfortune at this point.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, man, you went from
96.
bad to worse.
Roll
Well,
20, man. It's turning
Those of
against
you
us.
who succeed,
Yes.
you get this sense
Uh-huh.
that it's almost like he wants you to take the witch stone, but he isn't exactly saying it.
Hmm.
Does it seem like in a way where he wants this project to fail? Because we're standing right next to it.
You get the sense he doesn't really care about the cauldron.
Okay.
But you can't tell what he's actually doing.
Mm-hmm.
But he's clearly not revealing everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Okay. It's just so interesting. I'm so intrigued now. I was like, oh, okay. And now I'm like,
He kind of gives you a look, puts his hand on his stiletto. You're running out of time if you're taking it.
I guess we should take it. We can always leave it by back door
Yeah.
if we decide we don't want it later.
Let's take it.
Should we rough you up so that you have plausible deniability?
Or can you self-fluff?
That's not a bad idea.
Alright, I'll Magnificent Bastard him real quick.
All right. What are you gonna do? You going straight to knockout?
Oh, yeah.
All right. You boom. You catch him before he's even ready for it. Just kaboom. You just
Just
Take
It's
it
the
right
nicest
out.
way to do it. It's the nicest
And
way.
while he's down, because I don't think he expected us to KO him, I want to search his pockets. See if he has anything on him of interest that might lead to what his actual interest here is.
you find one of the stones in one of his pockets.
Uh-huh.
Covering up, yeah.
Take it.
You take it.
Put it in the box. Okay.
Well, that part's done, but, all these boxes look the same to me.
I did it's this box, Wolfram. It is this box right here.
looks exactly the same as that
No, but you can see it's open. You can see the witch stone inside of it.
Listen, while you argue, I go out front and steal wagon.
So, the next step is to what? Find
We go
this
to-
Jeremiah?
No, we go to dwarfs and we rob dwarfs.
Oh,
And then we
Very
find Jeremiah, I think.
very
I
good.
think it
sounds
would be
like a
good
plan.
to speak with him about things. Also, it seems like he wanted us to take this. Did anyone else get that feeling that he wants us to steal the witch stone?
I got that
I did
feeling.
not pass that. I will take you are more observant than me. I will take your word on this.
I took him for a blathering idiot, to be honest. He was just...
He wants us to take this witch stone, and I don't know why.
I'm just glad we did not have to kill him. He seemed like a not horrible person.
Not
Besides
horrible.
the,
No.
he did put knife on Greta, which is a shitty thing to do. But other than that, he did not seem horrible.
He did not stab Greta. So.
It
That
was
is
more of
true.
a stupid thing to do.
Yes,
This is also true.
I've been
very
waiting
well.
to do that
I'll
the
go
whole
steal
night, by the
wagon.
way.
I'll go with you to Steel Wagon.
All right.
Maybe
So you guys go out front, and you can
Good
walk.
news is they won't report stolen goods to the police.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
report stolen goods, can you? So
No.
you get out there, you find a wagon. It's not tied up to a horse at the moment, but it's there.
now we have to steal horse. This is a great day.
Is there like a wheelbarrow or something we can use?
You want to find a wheelbarrow? You can find
yeah,
one in the
maybe
back
something
room.
slightly. That'll
Well,
carry
then
the
Yeah,
Black
box.
Alexi and them
sticks.
have a wheelbarrow in the back. Yeah, that they
Yeah,
use to move.
Like, why
things.
don't we just take the wheelbarrow? We look like we're making a delivery rather than
Okay.
just
I like this idea.
stealing a horse. That would
I'm
be
good with that. I do
repulsive.
not want to steal horse. They are
Yes.
not good creatures. Listen, anything that has 3 sets of mouths on it, all with sharp teeth, you cannot trust.
You get up as you guys are getting the wheelbarrow and you're getting this big heavy crate loaded into it. You hear rattling
take a-
at the front
I
door.
take a blue vial too. 'Cause I'm
You're gonna take the blue
curious.
vial too? Okay.
But yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You hear
And I stash it.
so you have one crate of witch stone, and you have one vial of bottled lightning.
Well, put that in my
Any notes or anything around that could be swiped?
There is all sorts of madman-like scribble on all the papers and stuff on the desk.
I'll just
it's-
grab a pile.
Even people who are literate can't really read the gibberish. It's math formulas. It's weird geometry.
Mhm.
It's, so you
I'll
can
just,
steal
I'll
the
just grab
papers
a
if you
stack
want.
of random shit. Yeah.
All right. And the only thing that you catch when you're looking at them, Wolfram, is it has like list of ingredients, and it's like incense. This. It's got royal waters listed, and then it says grandmother's elixir.
Okay.
And nowhere does it tell you what that is. It just everywhere you
Sounds
see it
like
on the
we need to
papers,
brew it.
it's only listed as grandmother's elixir.
Sounds like we need to brew it and then spike someone's drink at the hobbled
Yes.
horsey and see what happens.
Oh. Yes.
Just randomly.
And
It's
nowhere
gonna go fine.
Nowhere do you find anything that looks like a recipe or formula for this elixir.
Okay.
But we know who knows how to make it. And we know where his workshop is.
So you hear wrestling at the front door. You hear Alexi.
Yeah, we're out.
Marcus! Marcus!
Go out the back.
Fetch the wheelbarrow! Fetch the wheelbarrow! This thing is heavy!
Oh my gosh.
So you guys wrestle it back out of there and you
Uh-huh.
kind of escape out through
He's
the back.
gonna get here and he's gonna be like, the stones and the wheelbarrow is gone.
It's
the wheelbarrow.
You guys
What range it
leave poor Marcus knocked out in Alexi's laboratory, and
Yeah.
eventually, Alexi will make his way in, and as you're leaving, you hear him, he's like, "Oh, great Scott!" And he runs over to him, and he's looking at him, he's like, "I don't
He
understand.
seems completely uninjured besides being unconscious.
right, googly
We've
moogly.
been," you hear as you're leaving, like, "We've been robbed." So
Good stuff.
You guys kind of just escape on out the back with this wheelbarrow, and you're kind of hightailing it through the alleyways as best you can with it. Poor Asher can't help you with the wheelbarrow because he's only got one hand to grip the wheelbarrow thing. So he may have been normally the person to have to do this, but
I'm very brawny.
Yeah. So Wolfram's gonna have to huff it. I'm not gonna make any rolls for this. You're not being chased. You're gonna just walk down the street like you said, looking like you're making a delivery. So
I was born for this.
So where are you gonna take it in the meantime?
That's a very good question.
I
feel like we need a safe house.
Because that might require rolls, but
If we're gonna keep
We're not
doing
leaving
bad things
town.
in this town, we should definitely get a safe house.
Yeah.
We should steal a wagon.
and just so it's noted, Ravit, you can also on your character sheet list one shard of witch stone in your inventory, since you have the one that you took off of Marcus.
Cool.
Well, what's that building over there?
Should find a nice abandoned place. Some place to lay low.
You
Yeah.
guys want
Can
to
we
find a
do
abandoned
that?
building? You want to take it back to your hotel? Like
Go to
the
a
inn
sketchy
room?
area.
Too many people know where we're staying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go
Be
find
like,
a
let's
sketchy
just bring
place.
these shits.
Okay. So you find a make me what kind of roll do I want to make for that?
I might be really good at this.
Yeah.
Imagine.
I-
Our smuggler should be good at this, right?
I do have streetwise. When I attempt to hide in an urban environment, I get 20% to the base chance.
Yeah, let's make a stealth roll. We'll
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
you make it based on your streetwise talent. And
Yeah.
that,
That
you'll be
would
good
stash
at
the
knowing
good-
where to
that seems like a
stash things.
stash
You're a
of the
smuggler,
goods.
so if anyone can smuggle,
Yeah.
it's probably you. So
So I'm going to count this as an easy
yeah,
stealth
you
test.
count it as easy because of your talent.
God, I'm going to fuck this up so hard. Just watch.
Don't say that.
Jinx it.
Oh, we
Hey,
did
you
it.
made it.
The
All
rule
right.
is never apologize before a performance.
Yeah, and you
Is that
actually
what it
have
is?
you have
You can do it
the
afterwards. But
you have the focus for hiding, which is not helping you here necessarily, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about peril. But yeah, you're you get that, and you find a place you can stash it, and you're pretty confident no one will find this. You're almost confident maybe you guys won't be able to re-find it. So you take a little time to make a mark so that you'll be able to relocate it, because some of these alleyways do all kind of look alike when you're standing in them.
Perfect.
So you take some time to mark a few things to breadcrumb trail your way back here, if you will.
Listen, this falls into rule number 17 of Rules of Road. Always note where you hid the goods.
All right. So now that you've stashed your goods, where would you like to head next?
We go talk to the
Jeremiah or the
halfling, or we
dwarf?
go...
maybe
dwarf?
before we have all of the witch stone, we talk to halfling.
Yeah, that way in case they try and jump us or something, they don't get all of it.
It's not all.
Good idea. Yeah. Well, this is
A
the
thinker.
vote that I take.
I have a
I see.
49 in
That's-
intelligence.
So you guys want to try to track down Jeremiah Umbridge?
Yeah.
We got rumors the last time. We had a pretty good idea where he was.
My contact knew a little bit about him.
Yeah. So you make your way down to the warehouse district, and he is not a terribly hard person to find. He's a very vocal public figure. You find a crowd of workers as things are releasing for the evening. You find a crowd gathered in one of the market areas outside of where all the factories are. And some of the people are just walking past and kind of yelling at him. But you see he's standing on top of like 3 crates to make himself tall enough. And he's got papers in his hands, and he's got what looks like a large mandible, like fang of something that he's holding in his other hand. And he's given a very impassioned speech to all the workers, trying to rally them, it appears, to his cause as you walk onto the scene.
How's he doing?
That's a good question.
He's killing it. And a chest burster pops out.
That would be very exciting.
You and I have
He's
different
not having a
definitions
lot of luck
exciting.
today, it seems.
No, he's doing terrible. That is an awful, awful speech.
So he's up there talking, and he's waving this piece of this jaw like thing around, and it's got some purplish pink flesh attached to it. And as you walk up, like you're having a hard time following him, but he's this short little dark skinned gnome with who's balding on top. He has kind of like the ring of hair, around the sides. It's kind of white, and he looks like he's an older worker who's been. You can tell his hands look real leathery, and he's seen lots of hard work in his days, making his age a little hard to pin down. But you can tell
he's
he
actually
definitely looks
33. Yeah.
So, do we let him finish speech and then talk to him, or do we interrupt?
You hear people in the crowd are asking him questions, and he's struggling to answer. They're like, "But how will we feed our children if we don't go to work?" And he's like, "How will you feed your children with one of these exploding out of your gut?"
That's not a bad point.
They're like, "Oh, yeah, whatever. These things are all contrived. Those things aren't even real. It's all a hoax."
Sure it is.
He seems to not be doing well. I think Ravit will be like, Jeremiah, there you are. We have been looking for you all day.
Are you attempting some sort of charm, or?
More just like a, hey, here's your out because you don't seem to be doing well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he looks over your direction, rather kind of confused. And you see the crowd's kind of dispersing and walking off. Oh great. Do we have a mod around here? I'll take care of it if not.
Oh, is it another one? God, it's twice today. I'll take it.
We've been getting those pretty frequently too. Those asses.
Done.
Alright, thanks.
We got our first one last Tuesday.
So yeah, he will take your invitation, and he steps down, and you see he's got a few others with him that look like they're hanging in the back away from him, but they're keeping a careful eye on him. In the same way there was nobody watching Mr. Boswell. This guy has people keeping an eye out on him. So he kind of steps off of his crates down to the ground, and again, he is kind of short, kind of broad across the shoulder. He kind of crosses his arms and looks sternly up at you. It's a tough crowd today. It's getting harder by the day to rally more to our cause, but
So
if we can't get true unity amongst all the workers here in the warehouses, then I'm afraid that the work the rest of us are doing won't matter.
I see. Well, I was just in prison recently, and a little rumor has it that you're working on something big.
He kind of gives you this look, this kind of an angry eyebrowed like look, like keep it down. You can't talk about this.
Yeah.
sort of
No,
stuff.
she's keeping quiet.
Just come over here with me. And he walks over towards these two kind of ruffian-looking types. They look like him in a way, only these two have a human. They're standing there.
Or are they half halfling?
Yeah, that's Asher. This guy's full halfling. But yeah, the other two are actually.
They said they looked like him, so they couldn't.
But he walks over there, and one of them turns and knocks on the door, and the door opens from the inside. And he walks in. Come, step in here. We'll be able to talk freely in here. The door opens to what appears to be some manner of, like a hole-in-the-wall bar. And there's just a few stools that are pulled up, and there's another what appears to be a laborer who's actually manning the bar at the moment. What'll it be, boss? And he orders himself a whiskey and Says whatever they're having. He bartender eyes you and he goes, "Oh, I'll bet she wants some rock gut." He grabs a bottle of rock gut and slides it down to Greta.
Much obliged.
"And you, sir, you look like a stout sort of fellow," pointing at Wolfram.
That'll do just fine.
He pours one and slides it down. He goes, Hold on, don't say anything. You, points at Ivan.
Yeah.
"Oh, I know what you want."
Yes.
He takes something off top shelf, pours like a shot, strikes a match, lights it on fire, slides it down to you.
The bar catches on fire.
We all have to leave.
Listen, you've got you know me in like multiple directions. This is quite romantic. I'll blow it out, and then you better give me like 3 more.
Now you two, it's a little harder to pin.
Hey, we just got a fortune point from Air Laser.
Oh,
Oh,
who got a
snap.
fortune?
Apparently I did.
Okay.
No, this
That'll
is
take
fortune.
one back away from
Fortune.
me. I'm down to 1 misfortune, so you guys are. I don't have it on the thing you're looking at here, actually, do I? But
Nice.
I'll put you on the social intrigue map here.
Actually, she paid the 1,000 for a fate point, it looks like.
Oh,
That is
you got a fate point then.
I've already got
Fate points
3.
10k.
Yeah, did she pay the 10k one?
No, it's
Fate points
1,000.
1,000. That's what
It's
it
a
says
fortune.
on the template.
It's a fortune.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it
This
the
fate is 1,000.
It's 1,000 bits. It's 10,000
Never
channel
mind.
points,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
depending on
Gotcha.
which sandwich you use.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. My bad.
it's
You're
It's
welcome,
channel
Air
points.
Laser. I did not consider the moving gear gifts when I didn't think about people might get motion sick from it when I put them on there. I just thought they looked cool, so I didn't think about it because I have an iron stomach. I work in the medical world. I handle all kinds of good stuff. So, okay, so a fate point will prevent an injury or death. So if you purchase one of those, it goes to a specific person. If you purchase a fortune or misfortune, that just flips the coins. Jeff has like 3. I'm going to have to
3.
up my damage game in the next combat to start stripping some of these back off of people. But don't worry,
Good luck.
it's coming. The more fate points they have, the more I feel perfectly okay exploding 6s with more misfortunes to start making people have to spend them. So, so yeah. So if you bought a fate point, Jeff can add it. There's not a limit of 3. This isn't Pathfinder.
was a fortune.
You can have as many fate points as you can earn. Now, normally that requires 10 game sessions of being a good person, but
Yeah,
you're getting them
we are
because the
never gonna
crowd
do
wants
that.
you to have them
Yeah.
at this
no.
point. So
This group is not.
yeah, you're gonna get the best
Yep.
of both worlds.
Yeah,
You're gonna
it's a
save your
fate point.
cams. Okay, that's
Or a fortune point, rather. I just
Yeah.
misunderstood from the thing at the top
Yep.
of the screen.
So
Right.
okay, so the group mechanics there aside, you got the bartender's kind of eyeing Ravit and Asher. He looks, he's like, I can't quite pin what to get you, sir.
It's easy, like vodka.
Oh yeah, well we have
It's
those.
very simple.
He pours one for you. Man of simple taste.
Point
How
me in
about you?
direction, I'll put the thing down.
I'm open to new experiences.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a bottle here we haven't even uncorked. He pops it, pours some.
It's my lord.
It's your way. It kind of bubbles a bit.
Oh.
There you go. You guys, one drink's not enough to push you to intoxication, so unless people are going to start buying multiple rounds, we won't worry about the intoxication rules at this point.
Do we at least get a
Ravit's
corruption?
not going to do that after what happened the last time.
Okay, so y'all have your drinks, and you can all have a seat there at the bar. This place isn't big enough for individual tables, so it's not like he can take you back to a table somewhere. But Jeremiah walks around the other side of the bar once he gets down to the end of it and walks back your guys' direction and hops up there and places his elbow on the bar, and he looks at you and says, "Now I don't recognize any of you from the warehouses. You're not workers here, are you?"
No.
Oh, not yet. And for good reason.
So, what exactly can I do for you?
Well, as I said, I was recently in prison. And the rumor has it you were working on something big.
Well, recently,
We like big.
a worker from Warehouse 50 was caught trying to break into my office over at Warehouse 51. He was apprehended, taken in, but I guess he got a glimpse of some paperwork that he's telling people is some sort of weapon that I have.
That is what I heard.
Hate to break it to you, but I'm afraid such things just aren't true. If I had some weapon capable of an uprising, well, don't you think I'd be using it?
Scrutinizing him.
You're scrutinizing him?
Succeeded on. Oh, I forgot to make it to standard, not challenging. Hey, well, if I succeeded on
Standard's
challenging
fine
roll.
for this roll.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I succeeded. You want that, so. Oh no.
He critically fails, so. No,
What's he working on?
He's clearly lying.
Okay, he's working on a weapon. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not working on no weapon.
He says
I'm working
this
on
and he gets
the
this.
weapon.
He can't help himself. He gets this
He's too
big,
excited about
big
it. Uh-huh.
grin on his face. And he's just kind of looking at you like, if I had a weapon, well, you know, I'd had to been using it by now, wouldn't I? And
I'm
you see
sure.
you see like the other 2 or 3 like racketeers in the room with him, kind
They're
of
like-
they get a big grin on their face as well.
Uh-huh. Like, when we like people with big weapons.
Yes, these are people we must play cards with at some point.
Yes, absolutely.
So I suppose you're here because you want to know what the weapon is.
Well, let's just say we're sympathetic.
If we were to, let's say,
Possess a weapon.
suggest that one were real.
Exactly, especially with the Emperor coming so soon.
Oh yes, we want to make sure it's ready for the Emperor when it gets here.
Of course. As he says, confirming again that he has it. Oh yeah, we want to make sure it's ready by then. I love this guy.
What's the finishing touches?
What is it? What is it?
Well,
It's too exciting.
we have designs that were lifted from the Academy of Natural Philosophy. Something one of the resident students were working on. It's originally designed to clear foliage away from thick forest, in particular to help with the excavations that Bravo Von Helfrich has been requesting up in the now petrified forest of Linovir. So, whatever that thing was that fell from the sky, all the trees, they're hard as iron. But they still burn.
Really?
Oh, that's fascinating.
So one of their people came up with a design for something that could help clear the forest so they could continue to excavate some rare stone they're looking for.
You got yourself a hand of that, huh?
Well, unfortunately, all we got was the plans. None of us know how to build a damn thing.
Ugh. So unfortunate.
So we don't have much of a weapon. We just have plans for a weapon.
Only
Now, I got-
6 days to complete it.
If there's one thing that me and the guys and gals around here are good at, it's long days of putting effort in towards a common goal. But none of us are thinkers. These things are like written in some other language. Can't hardly follow them. We can see shapes and some designs of pieces and parts, but how they all go together is, I don't know, it's beyond anything we can do.
Well, it's your lucky day.
And I'm gonna hint out some of the notes from my pocket.
Oh, yes.
I happen to be a bit of an expert on these things.
Oh, give me an easy guile check.
Got it.
I love it.
Is he out of my social cast?
What is your social cat? You're lowborn because you're a rake, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
He is burger class.
So I get an additional
Oh
20
no,
on
no,
that?
he's not. No, sorry, no, he's low. I'm rechecking the sheet. He's low.
Oh, what?
Would
You
you
don't
like
have
to
any other
fortune
special-
point that?
Fortune point that.
Yeah. Or if I had any other special abilities for this, but
Yeah.
I
No.
don't remember.
It meets it, beats it.
You got
I
it.
hit it
That's
exactly.
it. You hit it.
Wow.
75 out of 75 hits it. That's fine.
That's about
That
right.
works.
My dice
So,
the last 2
He
days.
sees the rest of your paperwork. His eyes get real big, and the barkeep like looks at him like, and he looks at him and says, "Pour this man another." He reaches back and gets another drink, and he starts pouring
yes.
another round. He's like,
I
"We have a lot of discussion that we have to get down to. We
No,
got a
we
short
sure do.
period of time to get these things pumped out. We're gonna need them in mass.
Mhm.
We want to
So,
make sure that it's a bright reception for the emperor."
I'm going to be activating carousing as I'm a nice drunk tonight and not a mean drunk.
And that gives you a bonus to what?
Plus 10 to charm test.
Yes, if you make a
I
charm
make
while
for
being
the
a nice drunk, you get an extra 10. So you're
This is my new ability.
carousing also lets you be an angry drunk, where you get a 10 to
I know.
intimidation. You can get to pick which one when you get drunk, but you do have to get drunk. So who's taking round 2?
Not Ravit. Not after what happened
It's like,
last
pass.
night.
For the time being, I'm gonna just like have it with me, but I'm gonna be studying. You know,
Mhm.
I'm like sipping, but I'm studying.
So do we have an idea of what they're making though?
Well, it starts
Does
to
he bring
look
out
a
the
little...
plans? Does he bring out the plans?
Come on, bust them out.
Greta, do you take the second? Do you take the second rock cut?
The second one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they give you a second one.
Yes, I do.
Nice.
Make me a routine toughness check.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
So he's sitting there and he's flipping through all the paperwork, right? And he's like, so he kind of looks over at one of the other guys who reaches down under the counter and pulls out this like case. And he opens it up and pulls out the papers and he sets it down. He goes, "This is the designs that we got from the academy.
Nope,
Can you
too
make
showy.
any sense of them?"
Yep, put them down in front of me here. Let's see, where's my glasses?
Now, what you see looks like a large tank, like canister. Not terribly different than Arkwright's cauldron, just smaller.
Oh.
I see.
Is there
it's
is there a
different.
name?
But it's got a
Does the
long
handwriting
hose that's
similar?
attached to the bottom of it, with handle grips on the hose.
Yes, I think I have seen something like this before.
And underneath it, written in a common type tongue for you have a dot in education, Wolfram.
I do. Yeah.
I thought you did, so you can read it. It says, "Which fire thrower?"
That doesn't sound good.
Well, yes, I do think I understand what this is. This would be quite an impressive flame.
Like I said, they developed it to. Well, they developed it to throw flame capable of burning away the trees so they could search for more witchstone. But the damn fools, damn thing requires witchstone to power it.
Need
So
witchstone to get
counterintuitive.
witchstone. It's just like money.
Indeed. So we don't have any way of creating this thing. We don't have any way of powering it. And about that
You have any
time, Greta feels an uncontrollable belch come on
Oh fuck.
Oh no.
Oh no.
and unleashes
Right
a
over
fiery
fire
belch
thrower.
of her own.
As you see, we brought our own.
And the guy, he kind of staggers backwards at the sight of this. And some of the paperwork catches on fire, and you're very quickly putting it out before it goes up in flames too much. And the barkeep kind of raises back up above the bar, and he looks over at Jeremiah, and he's like, "Wait, do you do that often?"
First time. I'm so sorry.
All the time.
And they kind of look at each other,
I don't know if there's an industrial application, but it's impressive.
A lot of power with rocket.
I have a question here. Listen, our friend almost destroyed your blueprints. Please tell me you have made duplicates in case something bad happens to these.
Duplicates? I can't even hardly read these things, let alone
Oh,
Maybe it'd be
Draw.
wise if I did for you.
yes, you should
Really?
let my friend make duplicates of this. We will borrow for night and return with 2 copies tomorrow.
how do I know I can trust you? I need collateral.
What do you want? How many people are in the bar here?
There's like what looks like 3 racketeers, a bartender, and him.
Yeah.
He looks at how about your pistol?
You are a dirty person. I do not like this.
Hmm.
I'll tell you what. Ugh. I will give you not my pistol. How about this? I put down payment. I will give you gold. I'll give you 1 gold.
1 gold crown.
Yes, as down payment that we will safely return.
All right. Give me a gold crown, and come back tomorrow. Air Laser does not understand the value of 1 gold crown in Zweihander.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's like a platinum piece in D&D. It's like
All right.
a lot.
I'll toss over my last crown so we can take these blueprints.
And make 3 copies and return 2.
Oh, we're not returning any blueprints.
Oh.
I mean, it's
Listen,
this guy.
Yeah, I don't think they should. I mean, I don't think they're gonna make anything happen, but I don't think they should have it.
right, well, even if they don't, someone else is going to get these plans and they're going to
From
figure
him,
out.
because they just showed us some information,
Yeah.
a bunch of jargon base. So yeah,
Make a challenging bargain check, Ivan.
Okay, I got this. Everything's fine. You said challenging?
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Oh, I got training in bargain.
Just in the off chance that this doesn't go our way, I'm
Totally
going to be trying to
didn't
memorize
pass it.
what I can see.
Okay.
Fortune point.
Fortune
Use it.
point. We're at 3 and 3 now.
Damn.
So he's like, he takes your gold coin, you see, puts it in his teeth, kind of bites on it. Alright. It's worth well more than paperwork. Which is all this is if you can't duplicate it. And if you can't build it. And if you ain't got any of them funny stones. So go
You
ahead.
said they came from the trees, didn't they?
What?
Just gotta go down to those trees, be a little, well, be tough. Get the work done.
A little proactive.
Browning the trees.
Bring them
No.
down.
These things were created to clear the trees. They didn't come from the trees.
No, but you said that the trees themselves light. They are the
No,
substance.
they still burn like a tree.
Yeah,
They're just-
a cloud.
You can't cut them.
I see, I see.
They melt.
It's
But you guys remember, you saw a warped tree branch
Mhm.
in the containers when you guys stole the stuff, so you've seen the stuff firsthand.
All right. So I did not pass my bargain test. What's the outcome on that?
It's fell forward at this point, so we're going to give you a little peril.
Okay.
I love
5. It's a
Sure
DC
is,
plus
Lord
one,
Arctic.
So
Does not clear.
5 doesn't clear you, so you don't take any peril from it.
Well, looks like we're in a good position to help one another. So, I'll take this back, I'll get my copies made, and I'll bring them back to you.
Alright, this time tomorrow. As you're leaving, who's the last one leaving out the door? What's the pecking order as you're leaving?
I'll go first.
Asher goes first.
That'd probably be second, I would imagine.
Do you want to go by initiative? We rolled it today.
Yeah, I'm fine.
would
with
make
that.
Greta-
Initiative works.
I would
Yeah,
make
let's-
Greta last. Greta,
Yes.
make an awareness check.
It's always happening, Greta.
Oh no,
Greta.
poor
A
Greta.
stiletto pokes you in the back.
Is this just standard?
Yeah, just standard.
Okay. Awareness. Okay. Where's my awareness? There you are. All right.
Nice.
You catch, as you're leaving, he makes some sort of hand motion to the two racketeers standing by the door.
They're gonna follow us.
You get the sense you're about to be trailed.
Oh, they are playing dirty.
Are they following us?
Oh
No.
yes.
Oh, good.
You see,
Not-
as they leave, Greta notices again that one passes a hand gesture to another one that's over on the other side of the street, who walks and turns down an alley.
Oh no.
And as you're walking down the street, then later, because you're paying attention now, you see somebody up on top of a rooftop, walking along the edge as though they're trying not to be seen.
They're going to rob us of the food.
And then you
points?
see he passes along another hand signal to somebody down the street standing under a streetlight,
Oh no.
who waits for you to walk past before he turns and walks down an alley. And as you continue to walk, you continue to notice that this network of people who work for Jeremiah Umbridge is much larger and much more influential than perhaps you had given him credit for.
I think I'll sidle up to Wolfram and go, so I think we should go back to the inn and make a copy, but make it
Slightly
incorrect.
wrong.
Yes.
Yes, we're on the same page.
Yes, that is much
We should-
better idea.
Return blueprint, I think.
Yes, we give them back 2 wrong copies and we keep right copies.
Very good.
Because yes, now knowing they have such a big, I was just going to shoot all of them, but I do
Would be
not
a lot
have
of ammo.
enough bullets.
We are
should
playing the
change-
long game here.
We should change all of the teaspoons to tablespoons in the recipe.
Everything is all grandmother's recipes, as far as I understand.
Believe it or not, I have a writing kit. So,
Okay, you do.
Nice.
yeah. It's in my shoulder bag, apparently.
Change some numbers on things that look important.
Yeah.
And
He is. He's a journalist, so yeah, he's...
Yep. So I legit have these things, and yeah. So we'll go back to the end. I will start to make copies.
it copies.
All right.
2 of them slightly incorrect, just like minor things that shouldn't be.
Now they have to match.
Yes,
But,
yes.
you know.
They do match, yes, but yeah. I do have
Oh,
education.
what do I want to make that?
I don't
Counterfeit.
know. They could read it.
Ooh, counterfeit.
Counterfeit.
Hey, that's a star that I don't have.
You're a flip to fail if you're going to try it. Does
Oh,
anyone else
no.
have counterfeit?
I do not have counterfeit.
Stand by.
Does the fence have counterfeit?
I would have to assume the smuggler of the fence
There
would.
is counter.
I don't.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
There you go.
you need Greta to do it.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Now, Greta, this is what it says, but it should look like something
Yes,
like this.
yes. Stand back. I am very good at this. All right. So would this just be a standard?
Because it's stuff you don't understand, we're going to call this challenging.
Can I be helping her understand
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Now,
he's got the education.
We haven't talked about how helping rules work in Zweihander. This
Boom!
is a
Nailed
new mechanic. So, if you were playing physically in person, you would take your percentile dice, like these I have here in front of me, 1 tens die and 1 regular die, and you would roll them for your percentile. What you do in Zweihander, when someone's going to help, they effectively give you an extra tens die. And you roll 2 tens dies and then the 1s die. And you take whichever the tens dies is best.
it? Oh, that's cool.
Now, there's no way for us to do this in roll 20. So what's
I
going
just
to
roll a
happen
D10.
is Greta's going to make her roll like she would with her counterfeit, and then she will roll just an additional D10 by itself,
Mhm.
just as the extra die. Sometimes I like to let the person who's making the roll all 3 dice. Sometimes, though, in my head, I feel like Wolfram should roll his own d10 that he's given to her, but because that's his helping. But for me, I'm going to let Gritta roll all 3. So go ahead and make your standard roll first, and then if you need it, we'll see if you even need the helping die.
Okay. Sorry, did you say standard or challenging?
It's challenging. It is a challenging thing to do,
All right.
even with his help.
Yeah, I always wondered where.
Oh, okay. Now, you do need to roll the d10.
Oh no.
You're probably it won't cause you to fail, but there
But
is
you
a
could get an
possibility
11,
you could
secret
roll
crit.
a 1 and get a critical success.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this.
Okay, so
61's not helpful, so 41 it
I
is.
was not helpful.
So he was not helpful. So after pointing around and all of this, that, the other, you get some duplicates made with a few changes. They don't look quite as clean and crisp as the ones that you have, but they're definitely
They made
passable.
them in a tavern. They had spies everywhere. I'm sure they could verify.
So
They have a
they're-
proper equipment.
they will definitely be a challenging scrutinized test to notice the difference. So if anybody ever gets to an attempt where they have to do that, it'll be a challenging.
Then it'll be too late.
Yep, maybe.
So, Greta, take
Maybe.
these notes down. It's, where this number, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
she just tunes you out.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Get out of the way,
Tell the
dwarf,
dude.
with your big clubby fingers.
Says the ogre.
yeah.
it's so good.
Just delicate.
Swoosh.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, pretty much.
Hey, Ivan. You're
Yeah.
sitting around while they're working on this, and
Mm-hmm.
it occurs to you that your stuff is still stashed.
Yeah.
And as far as you can tell, you still have a tail.
Yeah, I know. We can't get back to our stuff.
Not till we return the copies.
We might still have a tail after that, though. We become person of interest.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should sneak out and find our tail. And detail them.
Solo
Or-
mission.
Is that what you want to do?
I don't know. That seems awfully sketchy. I don't want to die.
You have a really good track record of every game session nearly dying, so we don't want to break it yet.
You're
you
almost
want
the
me to go
Kenny
with
of
you?
this South Park episode, where every episode, Ivan almost dies in some different way.
Do you want me to go with you, Ivan?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We can't kill the tail, because then they'll know we did, and they'll put another tail on us.
I'll put more
Maybe... maybe what we need to do is next time we set out to do something, we'll have to, like, you and I can run interference
Mm-hmm.
and then meet up back at the party.
They
when
would
we
be
get
watching
there.
the person with the blueprints. So.
I'll just
on
leave
our
with
way
some
back to
fake
return.
paper. Yeah.
To say, do we have a scroll case that we can get?
Oh, I'm sure we could.
Or we can take some of our fake stolen goods and plant them on the guy and then hand them to the guards.
That's also a good answer.
Pin the tail in the jail
Yeah.
cell.
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I want to do about it at the moment.
Okay, that's fine.
Just be aware about it, I think.
Yeah, maybe
we
when we
might-
get these duplicates done, maybe I'll
Yeah.
sneak out and hide them. Because if they're still watching us, I'd be worried they'd try to sneak in after we go to bed.
All right then. So that's what we'll say you're doing for now. So you're back and you're working on these blueprints. It does take you a little bit of time. You do get them done. Like I said, they're passable, definitely passable. What do you guys
Second.
want to do now?
Well, we want to definitely go into a private room where we know there's nobody else in there, windows shut and all that. And then,
All right, so this is our copy, and needs to be hidden. Someone's expertise in this room.
Yeah, why don't you give me the good one, the good stuff, and I'll slip out and go hide it somewhere.
All right, very well. Best that I don't know.
Yes.
All right, so you're gonna go stash them somewhere too.
I'm only going to take the original because it's the only one that's actually good.
Okay.
And my goal is to sneak out. And when I feel confident that I've lost the tail, I'll go and hide it with the witch stone.
Okay. I'm going to need an opposed stealth versus my awareness check.
With
Sure
the
thing.
witch stone?
Yeah, that's what I was like.
That's a bad. Listen, I would definitely
Yeah.
run the plan by like, this is what I do. I hide with the witch stone.
No,
And you're like, that's so dumb.
it's the fuel source. They need to fuel it. Maybe we don't hide the original with it.
That's
in case
true. You do
someone
not hide the gun and the
the
shot
ammo
and
together.
gunpowder
No.
together. I find
No.
new place to hide witch stone. Maybe or
Okay.
not witch stone.
Blueprints.
Blueprints.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Hey, what was funny is
All right.
I totally assumed you weren't going to the same spot.
I was.
You told me otherwise. I was like, oh, you're going where? Oh, okay.
No, I'm glad I
wasn't
said that
expecting
out
that. I
loud
was-
because
Lead
it
them-
gave all of you a chance to say no. That's dumb.
Lead them right to the fuel source.
Is that one of the
No,
rules
no.
of the... All right, so I think where we left off, the group had just made some counterfeit duplicates of some plans for a weapon, and now they're deciding how many sets of duplicates they think they need, because Ivan was going to go stash them with the witch stone, and they decided that was a horrible idea. So they decided not to put all their eggs in one basket, and instead
Listen.
diversify their portfolio with lots of baskets so they could have a Huttenberg Easter egg hunt for all their crap later down the road.
Yeah.
Once they figure out how to
That
lose
is-
their tail.
That is why there's number 17. Always note where you hid the goods. Anyway, yeah, I'll take the originals and I'll sneak off and go hide the originals, not with the witch stone.
Okay. So that stealth check we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's going to be opposed versus my roll. So your difficulty is not just roll standard, and I'm going to roll. You just have to beat me. That's how opposed checks sometimes work in Zweihander.
I passed. Oh, you passed better.
You do not lose him.
Once I realize I don't lose them, can I just go talk to them?
Sure.
Listen, you, why are you following me? I just want to go poop in peace. Please, leave me be. I am timid tinkler. This is inappropriate.
This is word on the street is you got gold crowns on you.
I had gold crowns until I gave them to your boss.
He said you gave him a gold
I
crown.
gave him my A, singular, only fucking one.
The rumor on the street says is more where that came from.
The rumor on the streets is that you were very rude. Now please, go away.
Intimidation. Challenging.
I'm not good at intimidation.
Oh,
This is
Versus my easy resolve. Or
Oh,
sorry,
no.
routine resolve. Because
You
it's
can
the
do it.
opposite. If it's challenging for you, it's easy for me.
I'm glad I was on mute because
Oh.
Chuck.
Oh,
was
critical
making me laugh.
success. He is
No.
not frightened of you at all.
Oh my god.
Ain't that some shit?
listen, this is how it is going to go. And then I run away.
Okay, so he's going to try to chase you. So we're going to go into a very quick 3-round chase scene to see if you can lose him.
Yes.
And this is where Chuck gets hurt again. Solo mission. The pain is brought.
Oh man, I still got all the tokens from last time on there. We'll move everyone else off here real quick. There's an Ivan.
All right. Do I get any kind of head start? Or are we flat-footed even on this?
You were talking to him, so you're pretty flat-footed even.
Yeah,
So
that
let
sounds
me-
fair.
Let me grab a token for this guy.
It's just the Grim Reaper.
God, that, yeah.
All right, so this is going to be a short 3-round chase. It's a D10 plus your movement.
14.
It's a good start.
Ivan
makes like a tree.
A 12, so you're up by 2. We'll say if you can manage to get more than 5 away from him after 3 rounds, you'll escape. If you don't make it more than 5 by 3 rounds, we're gonna go into a fisticuffs combat between you and a racketeer.
Sorry.
Mysteriously, your spleen will explode.
Han shot first. I got it.
That's true. Oh, look at that! Oh, we both hit a 10.
Wow.
So you are now up. You're up by 5. So you did it after 2 rounds. For rolling max, after 2 rounds you've lost him. You duck a couple corners and boom, he is left confused and wondering where you went to.
Yeah. Cool. I'm so fast.
You are fast, apparently.
I ran away.
You're real good at running away.
I'm real good at running away.
So you could double back to the rest of the group without any problems at this point. You've lost your tail for the moment.
Well, that's the important thing, is I need to go hide the goods.
Okay, so now make your stealth to hide the goods.
Okay.
And this will be just standard.
Cool.
And you do get your bonus. So remember your bonus. It makes it easy, because it's your bonus, right?
Yes, it does. I get that 20%.
Yeah, I almost forgot your talent.
Yeah.
That's a 6.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Hiding real well.
So you got it hidden real well.
They ain't finding that.
Yep.
I find a flower shop, and I find a big monstera or something like that. And
Okay.
I take the slip pot out and I hide it in the terracotta and put it back.
All right. So you get hidden at the flower shop, and then you make your way back to the rest of the group. You walk in, mission accomplished.
I did it, and they only found me a little bit.
Well, that's
Quite good. So, we got ourselves a few copies then.
Mm-hmm.
And, you sure you lost them?
I'm very confident. After I did not lose them, then I am sure I did lose them because I ran away.
Yes, that would do it.
So tonight I wanted to go rob the dwarves as well, but I think that would be a bad idea.
We should rest.
See us stealing the stone. We should get a good night's sleep. Maybe come back in the morning.
You know,
Yeah,
bright eye, bushy tail. Yes.
Say we
After
could not
we-
wait till tonight. We were too excited. Here was the copies.
Yes. Oh, also, they said that they put word out that we have lots of gold on us, and I think people are going to try and rob us.
Let
Joke's on
try.
them.
Yes.
That is very funny joke. They will find no gold.
They will find our friend Greta very angry, and they will be quite entertaining. Liz, I'll pass the fuck out, yeah.
All right. So you guys are gonna get another good night's rest.
6 days down to 5.
That brings us to 5 days until the Emperor arrives.
Oh my gosh.
Basically, our strategy is just to stall long enough that none of
no
them
one gets
can
anything
finish their
done.
goals.
Yay!
So I'm
I
just
like this plan.
while we're talking timelines, just to give you a little
Yeah.
idea, I made a 7-day outline for Terra and Treefell, the prequel to this game, and told them they had a week to get their job done. And nothing happened for the first 5 days, really. They tinkered around. They did the last 2 days, however, took 4 sessions or more. And it was
at least we're
brutal.
getting stuff
So,
done.
I'm just
Whether
saying.
it's productive is a whole nother story.
I don't consider myself
It's
the
an
world's
elaborate
most
shell game.
talented GM, but one thing I'm really good at doing is cranking up the pressure with timelines as they move along. Like, Jeff knows that I'm notorious for my Final Fantasy VII rant, where the meteor does not
We
just
just-
hang up there waiting to crash for
our
you to go to the
master
crater.
plan
Like,
is we get everything everyone needs, we hide it and stash it really well throughout the whole town, and then we all figure it out. And we just wait.
just figure it out as it goes.
Just wait.
We're
Fuck
trying.
everyone
This is-
over.
trying.
This
Yeah.
is the Scooby-Doo ending.
And we make sure we all
This is
get paid in
Scooby-Doo
advance.
Yes.
Now that it's a new morning, who's all still injured?
Me.
Oh.
Only
Where
a
are
little
you
bit.
at?
I'm at.
You're moderate now?
Yeah.
I'm at
Okay.
lightly wounded.
Okay. You and me, I'm also at lightly. I can auto heal us, and then I will make a roll for healing up a moderate.
Oh no, I'm just lightly wounded actually.
Oh, well then that's an
No.
auto. Oh, I
Oh,
gave
that's
you
right,
a
'cause you
teacher.
did
yeah,
the two.
or
Yeah.
laudanum.
Mhm.
We're going to take a
Yeah.
quick second here. I'm going to flip over to the damage peril healing rules for the people at home to
So
take
we
a
can
look.
all be back to full health.
We're all back at full health.
You
That's,
rock,
So
Ivan.
you got
that's
everybody healed up.
fantastic. I did buy a lot.
You
of
did buy a lot of bandages.
So I've still got 9 left.
Wow.
Okay.
Good.
And those are the good honey soaked ones. Those aren't chaos bandages.
These are the good ones.
The good
I got
ones.
the good stuff.
I too bought some bandages because
That's very
we seem to
important.
need them.
Note to self: become a beekeeper.
Yeah.
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 You guys are gonna be barber surgeons yet?
If someone would-
I've been thinking about it. Hey, thanks for the bits there. Much appreciated. And Kingfish is here.
Oh, hey, who is that? Are you
Lord Arctic
Are you-
Frost.
Oh wait, he bought Misfortune.
Arctic
Oh.
Frost is still
Oh, no.
awesome, though.
So thank you for the bits there, Lord Arctic. We will buy that Misfortune. Don't you worry. Now
Oh,
I'm up
no.
to 4.
It's a corgi stampede for misfortune. It's oh god. The
That can't
shortest
be a
of his
bad
legs.
So
No, it's like it's so cute, but it's like, oh no.
Got a little heart-shaped
So-
butt that's just gonna like offend us here in a moment.
so for the first time in this entire game, everybody is healed back up to unharmed, and
Yeah.
no one's suffering from peril.
No.
It's true. We feel good.
It's been a good session for you guys.
It's very clear we're on the right path finally.
Right.
So
Just stealing and hiding, that's what we do.
you guys spent a
Time to
little
go
time bandaging
turn
up your
its
wounds.
blueprint.
The infection is gone from Ravit's ankle. Things are kind of starting to look on the up and up, other than your pockets are empty of all the gold coins because you've spent them all for the most part
Yeah.
on healing and bandages and
Armor.
armor. You know, apparently living is important. So what would you like to do now with your day?
Well, we're supposed to return the blueprints this
We should
morning.
start with that.
Okay. So you want
I
to make your
mean-
way back down to the warehouses and find Jeremiah,
So,
who's
just to be like, we definitely only kept them for a night. Alexi, here you go.
Listen, please stop having your people tell us.
So by the time you guys get up and you get done bandaging, you get down there, there's nobody out there in the plaza giving any speeches at this point. Everyone's already working. So they're already up well before you are, and the workers are already made their way down there and are already in the middle
So
of a
are
very
we
long
being
relation.
tailed because it's the middle of the workday?
You would have to make a new awareness check to see if
I-
you spot any
yeah.
tails.
Do it.
What's the difficulty on that?
Standard at the moment.
Might as well make a check.
Yeah, 4.
You
Oh,
don't
I
see
passed.
That's outstanding.
I think it is
Way
time
better
to
than mine.
visit our dwarven friend, while we are not being tailed.
Should we get rid of these blueprints first, or
We'll keep them. We need to deliver them tonight, maybe after the workday is done.
well, we did say we'd bring it back in the morning, yes, or was it
We
just
said
tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Oh, there's plenty of
He
tomorrow
said
left.
tomorrow, same time.
Then
Ah.
Good call.
tomorrow,
Rudy.
right after workday.
He said tomorrow, same time.
Just then, if
Right.
we have to get into a fight, though, I'll be tired.
Cool. Well, let us go steal from dwarfs.
Okay.
This
So you
is
make
fun.
your way down past the hobbled horsey to kind of that grimy end of town, where, and without any difficulty, you can find your way to the machine shop of Hal Davidson.
Mm-hmm.
We have any sort of plan here, or we're just winging it?
Wing it.
Yeah,
Because these are the ones that want the money, right?
Yes. But we can say, oh no, the guards, they took the money. And we do
Or-
not have the money, we don't have the money. So
yes. Hey, let's just wing it. All else goes south. We'll just shoot them. Maybe. I don't know. I feel bad about that. We'll shoot them a little.
Let's escalate somehow.
maybe just knock them out,
Ivan
like
wants,
we did that one guy.
Ivan wants to shoot. Chuck doesn't want to shoot because I think Chuck's finally figured out what's going on.
Listen, I do not know these things. We shoot little.
So, you guys make your way there. How do you want to approach?
That's a good question.
Bolder than we should.
Okay.
Just
Swagger on up.
knock, knock,
Knock on the
knock.
door?
Hello, it is us. You are happy we here.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing what's around the house. Like,
Mm-hmm.
does it look like anybody's there? Does it look like there's guards there? Any of that sort of nonsense.
Make an awareness.
Look at that. That is a great roll on the DM's part.
Oh, you critically failed.
Oh
Oh,
I'm really good at this.
I'm rolling.
awareness thing.
I'm rolling with surprise, so you're considered helpless, and I'm going for a knockout perilous stunt.
Oh.
no!
Oh,
Who's
no.
KOing you?
That's my move. You can't do
That's...
this. Don't worry, he'll miss.
Where did
Say
the
that.
sheet go?
He's got.
Don't worry. This is gonna be fine.
So that's athletics, I believe, correct?
It is, yeah.
I
And
support
because you're
your mod-
surprised, it's an easy one,
Oh.
No.
He could still miss.
and you do not get to resist because you are helpless.
Oh my goodness. It's the best position to be in.
Oh,
Oh.
oh! You are knocked out.
Oh
And
my god.
You all are caught off guard, and all you hear is katunk on the back.
my lord!
On the back of the dwarf's head as Wolfram hits the deck, and you see Jeannie standing there with the largest wrench that you've ever seen that she just clubbed him over the back of the head with. And she's looking at the rest of you. You stole our money and our goods.
Oh man.
that was very rude, the thing you just did.
You know you are
She holds the wrench up
outnumbered.
over Wolfram's head.
I pull my stiletto.
I pull my blunderbuss.
I'm like, whoa, hold on a moment. You realize that it was the elf who stole your goods? We were running for our lives from the guards?
Of course, he stole all the goods. He took the crate of the stones we needed, and you guys were supposed to arrange all of this, and then you took off with the bag of money too that we paid. Now, Father's entire life savings is gone. And if you don't put down your weapons, I'm gonna kill this dwarf right here.
On shot first, I shoot her.
Okay, so on shot first, you cannot be caught by surprise, so you're not. You get 3
Whoa.
AP to start out combat.
I get 3 AP. I'm
Shoot.
gonna take aim twice.
You are that puts you up to easy on the shot.
That's my strategy. That's my
It is a good move.
foolproof Zweihander strategy.
I'm not gonna let her hurt my friend. That's against the rules. And
You
she's
hit.
very obviously holding a grudge. How many fortune points do we have left?
You have 2.
We only have 1. I'm going to explode.
Okay.
I think
so-
she's going to explode.
Maybe.
So that
So-
makes that a 9, and then an additional D6 roll.
Well, that would make that an 11. My base is 5.
Damn.
So
Oh, I'm looking at
base
the
is-
wrong number. You rolled a 3. Yes, you're right. So
Yeah.
that would make that 3 more. So yes, 11. Oh, you rolled a 6. You get to do it again.
Wow.
So we're at 17,
17.
Sorry, Mean Gene.
21.
21.
Oh,
Is
Chuck.
she dead?
Holy crap.
If not, she's real close.
Well, luckily she's a dwarf.
Okay.
We are known for toughness, yeah.
That would almost kill me.
She's grievously wounded.
Oh, God.
Your shot finds its mark. Just boom! Blood just splurches out of her chest. We need 3d6 chaos dice, Chuck, for injury.
Sadly, no.
You have 1 more fortune, Chuck.
Hmm.
Is she wearing armor?
No.
The goner.
Are you doing the back and forth with the fortune?
Yeah.
The wheel of fortune?
Yeah. Which I haven't used any yet, so I mean,
Nope, he has.
you could get them back
I've
if
got
I
5
use
of
them, but
No, I'm not going to.
you're not gonna go for any inflicted injury.
No.
Let me see her initiative, and that might change your mind. Her initiative is currently a 7.
Oh.
He's a 14.
And Wolfram's unconscious.
Wolfram is unconscious, so Ravit, you're the only one who will go before her in the first round of combat.
But she still has that surprise round between us.
No.
That was just Wolfram.
No, she used her surprise round to sneak up and bash Wolfram.
It's fine. It would just be two
So,
in a row.
Ravit,
That's all.
it is your go. You are the only one with the chance to save Wolfram.
Oh man. I'm so, like...
No pressure. No
Yeah.
pressure.
I guess. I don't want to kill her.
Do you though?
Listen,
No,
she
that's
threatened
how you
to
get
kill
hung.
Wolfram.
She did. But
She's still threatening to kill him. She's got that wrench up, both hands above
Okay.
her head, ready to
Well,
crash
if
it
we
down
can
on him.
hide-
And
Ravit's gonna go... Glance. It's pretty quiet here. And then... Stiletto aim, stab, because I don't see another way to kill Wolfram.
going for one
Unless
well-placed shot.
Yeah, let me look at the stunts and stuff. Okay.
So
If I blind her, that might not work. Dirty tricks. I could try to disarm her, but that's a coordination test. Could try to knock out. With defensive surprise. No, not those. Okay. Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be. Oh, I don't like it, but yeah,
It's messy.
it's messy.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Arctic, fate would, if they have a fate point, it will prevent them from injury or death. Jeff was already sitting on a couple, so
Yeah.
We're not super worried, but
yeah. He may
our
have to burn
characters
one,
don't
though.
know
If this doesn't
Right,
work out,
yeah.
he may have to burn one.
okay. Yeah, we're gonna try to stab in self-defense because she doesn't want to kill anybody because that's how you get sent to the gallows. But if the Emperor's coming, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Stab, stab. That is a
That's
hit.
a stab.
And that's enough to do one level of damage. She is slain. The bullet goes through. Blood starts to splurch out, and you take your stiletto and just jam it right in there. And she grips hold of your
I think
stiletto.
she goes into the arm because like her main goal is to save Wolfram, so it's like straight into like, one of those very important.
You
veins.
catch the brachial artery, and it just
Yep.
starts spurting. Stilettos are, yeah. You can actually, if you want to roll your well, you don't need to because she's unslain. But
She's dead. Yeah.
so yeah, she starts spurting and she falls backwards, and when you hit her in the arm, she loses her strength and she drops the wrench and it conks her on the head. She just falls backwards completely onto the ground, laying there in the street, just bleeding.
I wipe my stiletto off real quick, and I go, "What?
Ravit, how could you do this?
I've never killed anyone before."
Well,
So-
now I know whose team we're not on.
Resolve check. This is going to be a tough one for Ravit. I don't think Ravit's ever murdered anyone before.
She's never murdered anyone before. No.
So this starts with 9
Alright.
corruption.
oh,
Wow.
And we're going to let Ivan share a little of that.
That's
Ivan's
fair.
going to get 5.
okay. Resolve. Okay.
Now, your resolve, this is
What-
going to be a
what
little
check
of the
you said
tough
this is gonna
side,
be
so we're going
in?
to call it challenging.
A challenging resolve. Okay. I've got. Let's see, where's resolve? Resolve. Under will. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
No,
Uh-oh,
I do
97
not.
is not a good roll.
I could.
that
You
is
have one
12.
fortune point left.
12 mental peril.
I could re-roll it with their last fortune point.
Yeah, because
Do I
Chuck
want-
didn't spend
Yeah.
it for injury.
That's not.
Do it.
I don't know. It's your call.
12
I-
peril.
see.
How will that push you down?
Number 2 ranks, I'd be at ignore 1 skill rank.
Yes.
That's-
So
that's
that's
not a
not the
big
worst
deal.
thing in the world.
Yeah.
But it's,
Yeah, we have some smelling salts. I'll just take it. We're gonna need to hide this body or something. We might need it for that.
Yes,
whoa,
let's-
I'm not dead.
No, not you! We're not worried about you anymore.
No,
I
no,
imagine
Yeah.
Wolfram just comes to just
Huh?
painted.
And she's like, I've never killed anyone before! She's
And
freaking
Ravit,
we
out.
killed them
Ravit.
in the middle of a street.
You didn't kill me, I'm alive. Good
Yeah, Wolfram, you
and
can wake up.
and you're on the ground, and I just turn your head to look because she's on the ground. Dead.
Wolfram,
next to
you wake up, and there's a dead young dwarf next to you with a stiletto in her arm and a bullet hole clean through her chest.
Now this was blunderbuss, so I would imagine it's
Oh,
way
it's
more
messy.
gruesome than
Good.
that.
No.
I thought you used your pistol. You
No,
blunderbuss.
that was blunderbuss.
Oh.
Damn, that's loud too.
Yeah, it is.
We need to go. We need to do something with this.
Yeah. I'll go open the door to the warehouse. And
Okay.
I'll drag the body in.
Usual.
You drag the body into Hal's workshop.
Is there a bucket
It-
of water? Is there anything? You just...
As you're willing in, as you will the body in, you see Hal sitting there with the blunderbuss across his legs.
Shit.
Listen, it
And
was
that's
too
where
late
we're
for
gonna
that.
cut.
You do not need it.
And that's where we're gonna cut. We'll start next episode with you dragging Jeannie's dead body into the workshop
Wow.
in front of her
That
father.
did not go well.
And we will see how that goes down
Oh my god, we're screwed.
for next week.
Hey, well, at least we know we're not picking this team.
Nope.
Who's gonna win?
Oh,
We don't care what you're
So,
working on. It could
since
be the
this
cure to
probably isn't
everything,
going to
but
work
it's-
out for you, I'm just going to let you know that you guys just sacrificed what I like to affectionately call the Voltron ending for Horror in Huttenberg.
Oh, that. Wait, why?
just put all the pieces back together and it.
I can't
worked out.
exactly tell you why, but
Make
We'll
the
find
teamwork
out, I'm
happen.
sure.
Yeah, we could have made them all forget their grudges and become friends and sing Kumbaya and make the one ultra
It's not
weapon
gonna
that
happen
destroys them
now.
all. But
And
Yeah.
and I love that Ravit didn't mean to kill her, but I don't think she realized how much damage a blunderbuss does because she hasn't really.
it was all in.
Worked
It all
with that
happened
before.
very quickly. You know,
Yeah,
it all
just
happened very
Save
quickly.
Wolfram.
I
Oh
didn't-
fuck, she's dead.
Yeah, like
Han
If it
Shot
wasn't-
first didn't give you a lot of option, unfortunately.
No.
if she wasn't standing there threatening
I
to
approve.
cave in Wolfram's
Yeah.
head,
Oh no, I love
I
it.
would have
It's just
definitely tried
traumatized.
to talk it out, but
So, what's the last thing we do every Zweihander session?
corruption.
We roll
Uh-huh.
corruption.
Did we
Why?
take
How
any
much-
corruption from drinking earlier?
No, you guys only took
How
one
much
round, so you were
Corruption
good.
did we get from killing Jeannie?
Well, I got
you
5.
gained 9 for
I got 9,
murder, and
okay.
Chuck gained 5 because Chuck was kind of, he was acting because she did assault Wolfram. He kind of was pulling and shooting, but he didn't kill her. She was still alive. He could have bandaged her. He's got some plausible deniability to the corruption in his soul, but
Oh yeah.
unfortunately,
So I automatically get 1 corruption.
nope,
from
because
that.
you're not over 10. I have
Oh.
to roll a d10. If I roll
Okay.
a 10, you actually get an order rank today, believe it or not. Chuck has to look at a 5 to see whether he gets one. The rest of you are all going to gain an order rank, because I don't think any of
Crossing
you
my
have
fingers
corruption.
for a 2.
Wait, I got
What?
1 corruption.
Well, you got 1, because you took the laudanum. So if I roll
Yeah.
a 1, you'll get a chaos rank, otherwise you get an order rank. So here we go. Let's see what we got.
we got an order ring.
That's a 6.
The secret sauce is just be unconscious when all the bad
So
stuff happens.
Chuck gets an order rank,
That puts me 2 to 1.
2 to 1.
I'm also too.
Asher, Wolfram, and Gritta all get order ranks.
We got 3 order ranks right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
Ravit is going to gain a chaos rank.
Cool. I'm at 2 chaos rings now.
If you fill up all of your order ranks, you get another fate point.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you fill up all of your chaos ranks, you get a disorder.
The disorder.
Giant tentacle.
I'm on the path to disorder.
That's right. And if you get enough corruption in any one session, because we probably won't have enough game sessions to ever see either one of those bars hit full, if you gain
Oh,
enough
no, I'm
corruption in
on my
one
way.
session, I might lob the disorder on you just for the heck of it. But we'll see.
Jake and my team has picked up 2 chaos ranks in a single night before, and that's before
Yeah.
the dice roll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, once
that
you
is
start handling
unbreakable.
Witchstone, corruption becomes pretty easy. So it's
Yeah.
pretty easy to come by once you have Witchstone.
And
So-
if you got Witchstone on you, that's also how you get that mutation.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
I wasn't going to tell her that part yet, but she technically
Okay.
gains 1 more corruption just for having Witchstone on her person every day. so
Oh,
every day that
that's
she carries it,
hilarious.
she gains 1. But we're going to
Oh.
work with
Have
that
a
next
vial of
session. She
body
hasn't had
cake.
it long enough yet to worry about that. But
Yeah.
next
Sweet.
session, she'll start gaining it.
How much
All
RP?
I'm going to give you 200, which should be enough
Okay.
to finish out your basic tier.
That's 2,200.
Yep.
That since I took the Focus.
You
I'm
took-
one away.
Yeah, you're still one away because you took a focus.
Mhm.
Everyone else should be filled out their basic tier at this point. You should have everything filled in on basic tier, which means next game session, when I give you 200 more RP, you will be able to purchase your intermediate profession. Except Chuck, he has to wait one more game.
Yep.
So we put together some cool options for intermediate, what profession you can be adding to your profession, and what you can become next. And unlike character creation, where everything is random, from this point on, you get to pick what you're going to be from here on out.
Dun,
So
dun.
the convict can decide that she wants to become an adherent nun because that was too traumatic. You know, you could. There's all kinds of ways you could go story-wise with what you think your character might become next. So a lot of you have already made some preliminary decisions or looking over those options. You are not, you're not sold on any of those. You can change your mind if you want other options than what you were as you played another game session with your character. But most of Horror in Huttenberg is written for intermediate tier play, because Terra Treefell is written for basic tier. So Terra Treefell should get you to intermediate. Horror in Huttenberg will get you through intermediate to advanced, and then my third one that I'm going to write for next year will be at the advanced tier. So players will start at intermediate and work their way through advanced tier next year when I do the third one. So let's go ahead real quick here. We're going to do a few outros. I'm going to let everyone again tell people where they can find them next. So Chuck, kick us off. Where can everyone find you again?
You can find me a lot of places, really. My primary home is Defenders of Cobalt. I'll be there on Wednesday and Friday this week. You can also find me on the Lollygaggers on Mondays. You can find me on Grim and Perilous Plays on Tuesdays, and you can find me on the Zweihander RPG Twitch, because I'm one of the resident GMs for Zweihander, and you can find me there every other Friday. And you can find me also on Notorious DMG opposite Sundays of this. So I'm everywhere, but Defenders of Cobalt, you can track all that crap.
All right. Jeff?
Well, you know us here by the panels below, so go check that out. We have shows all week long, basically. So Monday night we do Wisdom Check, talk show with Dustin and I. Tuesday night we have Bardic Knowledge, which is a music show with Cam. Wednesday night is Pathfinder's 2nd edition homebrew that I run. This will be a DM prep this week. Let's see, Thursday night is video game night, so we'll probably be playing some 7 Days to Die. Friday, I'm not positive, but I think I might be running something or playing in a game over on Air Lasers this week. So I'll get confirmation of that later. And then it's an off week for Everstorm.
Yeah,
so
it's an off week for Everstorm, off week for us. So
Yep.
No, that's
So
the next
normally-
weekend here.
Yeah, normally Saturday, every other Saturday is Everstorm, which is our 5e Dungeons & Dragons game. And then Sundays, every other Sunday is Zweihander, which you just watched.
We got off schedule with Everstorm, so it used to be the opposite weekends of Horror in Huttenberg. So it was Everstorm one weekend, Horror in Huttenberg. Now we're doubled up, same weekend. So you get Everstorm on Saturday, and you get Horror in Huttenberg on Sunday now for a while, till Everstorm finds its way back on the opposite weekends again, because that'll happen at some point, I'm sure. So, Lindy, tell everyone they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I play and GM a lot of tabletop RPGs throughout the week. You can find us tomorrow on my channel at, I think, 8 Central for might be our last episode of Dread. We've been doing a 3 or 4 part Dread series. We'll see if we all die tomorrow. If not, we'll have one more week, but we're probably not going to die tomorrow. Ravenloft on Tuesdays. Wednesdays we have a Witcher campaign now, which is very exciting. And soon we'll have a Cypher campaign on Fridays, along with our once a month Aliens and Teenagers for Outer Space games. Just follow on Twitter for when those things happen, because I don't know until probably the week of usually. So just keep your eyes
All right, Alex.
Yeah, so I'm Alex. You can find me at Untold Stories Project over here on Twitch. Tomorrow I'll be playing Werewolf. On Tuesday we have a super special Mutants and Masterminds one-shot with the developer of Mutants and Masterminds as our special guest. And then Saturday we'll be doing a live stream as part of Gen Con for a Justice League Dark Game. It's going to be a crazy, crazy week here for me.
All right, and Hope.
Hey guys, you can follow me on Twitter at TheHopeLavelle, and you can watch me on twitch.tv/DNDBeyond for some wonderful D&D action from 2 to 4 PST on Wednesdays. And you can listen to me on a podcast for D&D called Attackers of Opportunity, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
All right. And I am Dustin. Again, you can find me here at Tabletop to Keyboard. My next appearance will be tomorrow night with Jeff. We're doing the wisdom check. We're talking character deaths and all sorts of stuff. So we haven't covered that topic in quite a while. So we're going to talk about it tomorrow night. So that's what you look forward to. It's a me and Jeff episode. We do have some guests lined up. Matt Jowett from Grim Perilous will be coming back on the
Nice.
episode sometime soon. Got Joker who's a Brazilian player who's going to be on talking about some mage for the World of Darkness coming up soon. So we got some guests lining back up again. I got to reschedule Daryl Wagner, who unfortunately couldn't make it a couple weeks ago. So we do have another reschedule I got to work on as well. So those are coming up. If you're interested in reappearing on the Wisdom Check, you just got to talk to me and we can make it happen. So again, I thank all my players for being here, for taking time. Thank you, viewers. That is pretty much, I think, what we got for right now. Jeff, why don't you give another quick plug for your dad's artwork and what he's working on right now, and then we'll be on our way to the outro video.
Yeah, so I just linked out the links for David Lee Pancakes, so go check his stuff out. He's got a Patreon, he's got a web store, he is on Twitch, he's on YouTube as well. He just switched his schedule to be Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays mornings, so like 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, I believe. And so he's doing that now. He's been getting connected up with some other artists. He's been bringing some on for interviews, talking about other people's art as well. And he's been working on our stuff recently, so he's been making characters for our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons game. So there's lots of really kick-ass sculptures of that. So go check it out, see if you want to get some art for yourself. That's the place to go do it. I think that's all we got.
I think that is it. The outro plugs are done. Thank you all again for being here. I'm going to push us over to the actual outro video, and we will catch you all Monday night for Wisdom Check.
Thanks all. Appreciate you coming.